Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. We're big now, but we're going to be small in a second. So before, you know what, I'm going to leave us like this for right now. But you guys know whenever I show the pictures, we go back to the normal layout, which is this layout, unfortunately. So I wish we could be closer. But anyway, happy Tuesday, guys. Thank you so much. We have a good crowd with us in the very beginning. So let's give a shout out to you guys first and foremost. Shout out to you, 24 of you that are watching right now. I appreciate it. 30 of you that are watching right now. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back to my channel. Of course, I am your host, Miss Sabrina Soul, and we come here and we gather here on Tuesdays, the soulmates in us, to discuss Ready to Love. And tonight we're going to be discussing episode number 5. Okay. And it's going to be pretty interesting because it kind of goes into an elimination from last week. But anyway, you guys know, make sure you hit that thumbs up. We'll go ahead and do a moment of silence for you to go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you have not hit the thumbs up yet, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would so greatly appreciate it if you would click that subscription button and also that notification bell. So every time I go live or post a new video, you will be one of the first ones to know. Shout out to you guys. Wow, 49 of you. Wow, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Now, you know I like to introduce my amazing panelists in the very beginning, and I also like to do it in the very end because they matter, and you guys need to know who you're going to be listening to for the next few hours, okay? But we're going to go ahead and start with Tyrone.
What's up, everybody? Sabrina, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to be on the panel. Tyrone from Ready to Love DC, Sabrina season. You can catch me at Ty Wilson 21 everywhere or at Tyrone E. Wilson on YouTube. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. I'm really excited about this conversation that we're going to have tonight. So let's go.
It's J-Dub.
What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J-Dub, the #1 commenter, and I'm glad to be back on the panel. It's been I wasn't there last week, but it felt like 3 weeks. So y'all can catch me on It's J-Dub on my channel. I do detailed reviews on reality shows, so check me out. It's from a male's perspective, so we have a lot of fun over there.
Really BTV.
Hey, you guys. So I'm having some technical issues today, but I'm glad to be back. I had to miss the last couple of weeks. You can catch me on Really BTV on YouTube. I review Ready to Love and Love and Marriage DC, most of the housewife shows, and some odds and ends and celebrity gossip along the way.
P.O.? You're muted.
Sorry, couldn't get. Yeah, I know. I was saying if I could get off mute. Hey guys, it's PO, Potomac season 6, 5-ish. I don't know, whatever one Potomac was. Yeah, I'm out here on Instagram at 100 sightings every day. Well, not every day, but some days. So I'm back.
Yay. And shout out to you guys in the chat. I see you chatting it up. And just to let you guys know, watching in the chat, just for real, without you guys, there is no us. So I just want to say that we really love you guys, and we appreciate you so much. And thank you so much for joining us. And we appreciate you so much. And thank you so much for joining. Someone has an echo.
That was me. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, P.O. Anyway, before we get started, because it's J-Dub and Really B, they weren't here with us last week. So a lot of people missed you both. Okay. So before we move on to episode 5, can you let's start with It's J-Dub. Can you let us know like your thoughts on just like really quick on how you're feeling about last week? Because before we get into episode 5, like with the cliffhanger and the stuff that they had going on, like how do you feel about the way that it ended in the last episode, pretty much?
Well, I guess I'll start from the beginning. I'm glad to see Corvée is gone. You know, her man is not on this show. She needs to be on Million Dollar Matchmaker. She needs a man who has built the business and sold the business. Maybe she's looking for like Jay-Z or Diddy or something like that. And as far as like the connections, it was more like drama. It was just like a lot of drama going on. And sometimes I don't understand what's going on with Morgan. And Morgan in real time and confessional Morgan is two different people. Confessional Morgan is always kind of in tune with what's going on with Tony. She's being cautious. She's watching what he's doing. And in real time, Morgan is just head over heels for this man. He's so smooth. He's husband material. And I'm I'm kind of glad this thing with Jeffrey and Blake is unraveling at this point, because I just need that to just stop, be solved and done with. And I'm finally seeing that Blake for who he really is. I mean, I saw it from the beginning, but he's been a fan favorite, maybe because of the looks or whatever. But I'm just thinking, like, I really don't see any true matches here, and I'm not sure if that's going to turn around. So we'll wait and see.
Thank you. Really, B?
So for me, for the last episode, Blake almost had me. I thought I was gonna have to come on here and apologize to PO, because Blake almost had me. I don't know how I feel about the Jeffrey situation. I'm side on her too. I do not like this whole get out of jail free card situation, because I think it's stupid. I don't understand how they expect this to be a unanimous. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way it turned the guys against each other. We very seldom see that. We've seen the girls get real catty, but that, I think that's the worst we've seen the guys since I've been watching. And I just didn't like it because I don't see any purpose in it. If your person is off the show, then they off the show. I just didn't understand it. Morgan, she said it was editing, but I don't know, girl. That your interactions are very childish to me. That little move you pulled on at the game was very childish to me. Again, it could be editing, but I can only go by what I see. I don't know what was edited. Overall, I hate when they do the cliffhanger. I think that's stupid. Just tell us who's eliminated. You know what I mean? Like, that's not fair. Like, either I'm coming back or I'm not. I don't like it. But overall, it was an interesting episode. See what we. I think we got a chance to see some other connections that we hadn't seen, because some of those people I forgot about. I was like, oh yeah. So I think the boat, because they were all there together, we got a chance to see some other couples and some other connections. So from that aspect, it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for that. We're going to go ahead and add Stacy B to the chat. Stacy B, are you there?
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Stacey.
All right.
Hey, Stacy.
Hey, y'all.
And Stacy, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick before we get started.
Oh, I gotta do that.
Yeah.
I was trying to, how you try to slide in the classroom, the church. When you try to slide in the church when it already started, and you try to sit on the back pew.
No, you're a VIP, and they need to know who you are.
I'm Stacy _B. I was on season 4, season 3, Houston season of Ready to Love. Happy to be joining my peoples here. What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up? All right, guys. And just to let you know, we are going to move forward with let's all try to have courtesy to everyone. Let's not all talk over top of each other. Let's take turns. And also we're going to keep our comments to a minimum, not too long-winded, but of course we definitely want to hear your thoughts and what we're speaking of, but we're gonna kind of shorten it up tonight and kind of hit the points, and we are going to agree to disagree. All right, so now moving forward, let me put my glasses on. Sorry, guys. I can't wear my glasses because it'll have that ring light. So like this, and I don't wear my glasses. I need to wear it tonight. Okay, we start the episode. Well, this episode is called The Math Ain't Mathin'. Okay, start the episode with a cliffhanger, and that was from last week, as you heard Really B say. And of course, we have Corvea, who is eliminated. Demario is actually in his feelings because he's like, dang, that was like one of my strongest connections. He's like, now I got to go out here and find another strong connection. You know what I'm saying? He said that he tried to use the lifeline, but one thing about the lifeline, it has to be unanimous. All the guys have to agree on this one person. And he said the men did not. So unfortunately, Corvea said that, you know, she's going to allow Demario to go through the process. And, you know, if he kind of feels like, or yeah, that she's meant for him, then he'll come on home. But she does want to give him that, you know, opportunity to go through it. But I think she really is feeling Demario. And, you know, hopefully, even though he's going through the process, he does reach out to her, because people don't understand, just because you get eliminated, like my phone still works. Like if we really had a strong connection, just because you get eliminated, it shouldn't stop, especially if the connection was real. So hopefully, you know, Demario does reach out and they really do find a connection. Just because the game eliminated you doesn't mean Corvea had to too, you know what I'm saying? Or he had to with Corvea. But anyway, your thoughts on Corvea's elimination. Did you guys think that it was going to be Corvea going home? I didn't. I was shocked.
I knew it.
I thought it could have been Marcia.
I didn't. I thought is it Marcia? Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Marcia.
Who did you think?
I predicted that last time. I said Corvea's going home.
I think you did.
And I did, and I knew it, you know, just because I deliver.
Tyrone, who did you think was going home?
I was torn between Corvea and Marcia, but I understand. You know, if it was Corvea, like the connections really weren't there for her. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be that harsh like J Dub. I think the one thing that happened during this episode was we ended up forgetting about her elimination. You know what I mean? I feel like we always try to make a point to shout out to the castmates that do get eliminated, but with everything that happened at the end, won't be specific about it yet. We ended up forgetting that, you know, the episode was about Corvea. You know, for the most part, her elimination, since it was a cliffhanger from last week. Yeah. Go ahead.
J-Job, what were you about to say?
Yeah, I was going to respond to what Ty said. Can we stop being nice and be real? The people are here for our perspective. It's not here to be like, oh, I don't want to say this, or I don't want to come off, you know, like you're angry or irritated or whatever negative. Say what you want to say. Stop talking about, I want to be nice, I want to tiptoe. No, say whatever. You don't have to be mean, but say what's on your mind.
When they meet us in person, they be cussing us out though. In real life, I don't like you. I didn't like what you said about me on the day.
I met P.O. in real life, and he didn't cuss me out. He was a true gentleman. The guy's mature, you know, and he showed love, and I appreciated it. I did not know. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, luckily, I'm almost at eye level with P.O., so I wasn't intimidated. But, you know, so we were good, but P.O. was, like I said, a true gentleman and professional. We had no issues, because he could have went.
Right.
I was like, oh, there go P.O. You know, he might have a problem with me, but that's okay. I still approach him, and we go from there like men, and that's what P.O. is, a man and a professional. So there you go.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
I love it. And that's how it should be, because we're just talking about the show. We're talking about what we see on the show. Like in real life, I don't know you in real life. So if I meet you, I'm going to say, oh my God, hey, like I enjoy watching you regardless if you were a villain, if you was a nice person, if you was a shy person, if you got eliminated the first, it doesn't matter. Like I'm going to be like, what's going on? Like how I talk and review you on the show. I don't like if like you know how actors are like the person that murdered the 5 people, but then in this movie he was the angel that came back to life that saved the family, and then he had 12 kids. Like it's just
we ain't gonna never forgive Danny Glover for what he did to Silly.
Exactly. Right. But they be taking it serious.
Yeah. Nah.
Like, what the hell are we at? Oh my God.
Mhm.
Stacey B, I'm sorry. How did you feel
Okay.
about Corvée?
Well, okay, first of all, to be honest, I literally missed the cliffhanger because I stepped away real quickly to like run to the restroom. And when I came back, we were on to the next scene. So I totally forgot from the week before that this was a cliffhanger. And then I kind of figured out, oh, Corvée was missing. However, if we go back to the episode, right, there was nobody checking for her. Demario was fake checking for her only because he was in his feelings because he saw Jeffrey smooching on the lips, church kissing a member of the congregation. Like, come on now. So then he was grasping for somebody close. And like I said, they might say otherwise, but from what we can see on TV, you know, that was the second pick for him he pulled like something out of a hat and there she was. So, I mean, none of the other guys seemed too impressed with, the way she was speaking, about how she articulated herself. I think that turned a lot of them off. Um, so yeah, I wasn't surprised. I was with PO last week. Yeah, it was her.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Stacey. When he was fighting for the lifeline on the boat with the fellas, it makes me think, who was that fight for? Was he fighting for Jeffrey or was he fighting for Corvée?
Oh, was he grandstanding and fighting for himself? His future on the show.
Could be.
Yeah.
I think it was for Corvée because Jeffrey was out of his off his radar or whatever. He was
Mhm.
done with her. So Corvée was his last lifeline. And I hated the way they handled that discussion. They didn't handle it very maturely. It was way too extra and emotional. They could have had disagreements, but they were like screaming and yelling, and Uncle Blue tried to calm things down, and he still couldn't calm it down.
Not Uncle Blue.
But yeah, he did. Because remember in my notes I said he actually tried to save Corvée. He said, but the men, it has to be unanimous, and it wasn't unanimous. And that was his strongest connection. He tried to save her, but unfortunately they didn't want to use the lifeline on her. So they absolutely was talking about Corvée.
Can I ask this question? So in all of the lounges with the men speaking, a lot of men every week they voice their displeasure with the way, Corvée articulated her expectations, right? So you knew, like, you got in this fight and you ruffled some feathers of some people that you may need later over someone that you knew nobody was going to save. She was not getting a life-saving raft. They were just going to let her drown. So why would you do all of that production if you knew it was for nothing other than to save yourself?
Right.
Yeah.
You knew it was the end.
Now that I'm thinking about it, like, I don't understand this lifeline thing, because when will everyone say, I want her to stay? Or when will all of the ladies say, this guy needs to stay?
That's my
No
point.
one's gonna
Like,
do
why?
that.
Never gonna happen. Yeah, facts.
Right.
Like, it doesn't
why
make
would
sense.
I fight? Why would I agree to save? Yeah. Why would I agree to save Stacy's number one connection when my connection is still in the game, and I need for my connection? Like, that doesn't even. I don't understand when they came up with this idea, what scenario they thought this would work. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's.
I'm sorry.
No,
I was going to say, supposedly, it's always unanimous in the men's lounge. Supposedly. So why would you even need a lifeline?
It's only unanimous, like, if you're looking out for another dude and you're like, yeah, okay, we'll vote for her to stay. That's probably the only time.
Well, the only time that would actually work is when you're down to the bottom 3 or 4. Then it'll be unanimous. But it would have to be from both sides. You know, it'd have to be a full on agreement. And I caught a lot of flack because I made friends on the show. So how are you going to use a lifeline if you ain't there making friends?
You said it right, Stacey. You caught a lot of freaking frack.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ha
But
ha
at the
ha.
but at the end of the day, when is it gonna be everybody's gonna be like, yeah, let's keep her? Or yeah, no, it's always gonna be, nah, I ain't feeling him, I don't like him, he need to go, or that's my number one connection, I'm feeling him, we had a good date. It's never gonna be, we all want him to stay. We all want her to stay. Like, when is it really going to be that? When?
So
Somebody that's
that
on
right
the
there was
bottom.
just I think the whole notion, the whole thing about having that as a component was to draw and create drama, have people fight over that.
Mhm.
It's an item that's just there for no reason at the end of the day, other than that.
Yeah. Mm. So, this, I don't know. I wish they didn't bring it up. I mean, it's cool because it's good for TV. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, I'm here for it, for the whole TV part of it, the drama, like the anticipation of like what's gonna happen, and so it's cool or whatever. It just doesn't make any sense because I just don't feel like, when are they going to ever come to the part where all of them are going to be like, yeah, let's save Cynthia. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway, towards the end of the boat ride, Tommy does tell, or he tells them after the elimination, that the singles are going to head to Hard Rock Cafe and that one man will be eliminated at the end of the week. The singles get together. They all kind of have small conversations here, and here. Blake does pull Sue Ann to the side and he asks her how she's feeling. She tells Blake about the conversation that she had with Jeffrey. Blake says that he was thrown off with Jeffrey pretty much lying on him, saying that he chose her and that she was the one. He says that he appreciates Sue Ann, that she is a good communicator and she is easy to talk to. Morgan then gathers the group and says that they are going to go dancing. How y'all feel about Blake? For real. Not
Who
everybody
wants to
yet.
start?
Blake is
Right.
exhausted.
Who wants to start?
I'll start.
I'll start. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead, brother. You got it. I want to
No,
rebut.
okay. So I really started paying attention to Blake. I think, was it the last episode or this episode? And the more I listen to him, the more I start to feel for him, the more I start to understand him. When I listen to the things that he's saying, like, he's not saying anything bad. It's just, I think the women are just receiving him in a negative manner because he's not feeling them and he don't know how to fake it. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting. And he's just like, when he's in the dates, he don't know what to do. He don't know what to say because he doesn't like them. And it's almost as if he's just going through the motions, going to these dates so he don't get fined. Production asked me to be here, so I'm here. But I don't think he's saying anything wrong. I think, the him being full of integrity is just what we're seeing. And then because we are expecting him to find a match, we are expecting him to give it his all, because that's what we are watching the show for. When that doesn't happen, you get really, really hard on the guy when he's really just trying to, say, I don't like this person. I'm not feeling this person, but he knows that he can't say that. So the dates are difficult for
Okay, so now, first off, let me put my chopsticks down. Now, I 50% agree with you on that, but I'll add another 50% to that and say this. Blake, all right, I've heard what Blake said. He said, I was an MP, military police officer, He held some positions in, basically positions of authority. So I think that when people are looking at him and saying that he's controlling or narcissistic or whatever, he's really just displaying that characteristic that a lot of police officers or law enforcement people have, where they're pretty, just straight up front, and they're going to tell you exactly what they want from you. And it's a posture that they have that may be coming across as bad communication on his end, right? Coupled with the other things of maybe he isn't feeling a lot of the people or whatever. So I think that whole combination is creating this whole persona that he's arrogant, he's awkward, and he's controlling. But in reality, I think it's just part of the personality that he's grown into, probably because of the type of work that he's done.
Yeah, Blake was a CID agent, so he's pretty much oh, go ahead, really, B. Go ahead. You had your hand up.
No, I mean, go ahead and finish your thought. So my question to so the perspective on Blake will change. My question to you and Paul is this: do you think that Jeffrey was lying about what she said Blake was doing to her?
So I think that,
and the reason why I think that's
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You want to go, or so I'll say this. I think that there was a little bit of extra sauce on that. He probably said some things, and he probably kept it real and was like, yo, you know what, I'm feeling you, blah, blah, blah. But that is a part of the process too, where you have a free range to communicate those feelings. And perhaps maybe she wasn't feeling him in that way, and said, okay, I'm going to just drop this bomb, and then, oh, by the way, I'm going to drag him a little bit along the way.
I think I think there's some things that he said, and then there were some things that she heard and felt, based off how she felt about him. What was that point I was going to say? I'll come back to it. Go ahead, Stacey.
Okay.
So the reason why I asked the question. I'm sorry.
I think there's a delay. I think there's a delay in the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I apologize because I don't want to talk over anybody. But the reason why I asked that question is because I think people's interpretation, because I'm listening to what y'all are saying about Blake, and I'm like, so did they just totally throw out that whole situation with Jeffrey? And that's fair if y'all feel like Jeffrey's lying, and then that's fair that you would say, oh, well, I think that was embellished. For me, where I sit with Blake is I really think that Blake is a narcissist. And I know that word, you get it, but I'm looking at things that he's doing, and it's very subtle, but he's doing some very subtle things that create that environment of controlling. So, for example, when he went on the date with Sue, when they did the little jumping thing with those shoes, and he was like, I'm gonna call you Susu. And it was like, yeah, so when I call you by that name, that's our signal, and that means let's go. It sounded cute on a level, but it wasn't. That was a controlling tactic. And that's the thing that men do when it's like, oh, I'm gonna give you a nickname, not because I think you're cute, and I'm gonna give you a nickname, and that's gonna be my signal to you when it's time to go. Notice he didn't say, and you can call me blah, 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 and we'll know what that means. No, it was, I'm gonna call you Susu, and that means it's time to go. And he little things like that. And even with him bringing that bracelet to Sue, that was very contrived. That was a very specific thing. It was contrived, and he wanted everybody in the room to know he did it because he pulled her away from a conversation with the bag, and he gave her the bracelet. Those are very controlling tactics. And so for me, I really think that this is who Blake is. Like, y'all are giving him passes, and that's cool. I can't tell nobody how to feel. But for me, that's how I'm seeing him.
I get you, really, B, and I agree with y'all. Like, I feel like You know, I'm gonna show Sue that I'm gonna reward her for good behavior. And I want everybody to see that she's being rewarded for good behavior. Um, Although I have no problem with gifts myself. The other thing that I wanted to say was like, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool them cameras all the time. And so I think what we're seeing is like some of his little traits and behaviors are being, you know, blown up in front of the camera. Also, what is this process? What are we talking about here? We're how many shows in? How many episodes in? If he is not willing to change by now, he's been getting a lot of feedback about how he's perceived by the women, and he is not making any changes. Yes, he's robotic. Okay, it makes sense his behavior because of his military police experience and his experience in security, etc. However, that's not translating to dating. You're here because you don't have a woman and you're trying to get one. So, what are you doing to change and grow? You're not taking feedback clearly.
Somebody actually said in the comments that Blake is doing to Susu what he was trying to do with Jeffrey, but Jeffrey didn't fall for it, and Susu is.
Okay.
Come on, Ty.
So
Let me get in there.
go ahead.
Yeah, we got to take turns, Ty. Thank you.
Y'all-
So let me wrap this up real quick. Yes, I totally disagree with most what's going on. I called it from the beginning. I said that Blake was not a good guy, and in this group setting, there's a consensus that's saying, listen, he's combative, he's arrogant, he's off-putting, um, and not only that, when he's given his feedback on more than one occasion, he says, "Hey, well, now what you just told me, I'm going to be even more combative." At this point, we just have to let all the ladies who love Blake just love him because, the man has shown who he is and continues to be. And the fact that I don't understand how people say that, well, we can take what Jeffrey says at face value, but when did it get proven that she wasn't telling the truth? Um, she said the man was controlling. He was trying to keep up tabs up on her, and he did something similar with Susu. And in that one time, in any of their interactions, he said to Suan like, "Hey, I'm intentional about getting to know you, trying to learn you, be with you, spend time with you. It's all let me reward you for giving me information that you should not be telling me." So I mean, like I said, some people are used to being in toxic situations. So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Tyrone, what were you about to say?
Yeah, so I was gonna talk about some clarity that did come out of it because in the confessionals, this was the first time we actually heard Blake call Jeffrey a liar, right? Basically, he has been the only one to say what the case has been so far. I honestly feel like the dude is just he's just don't have any game when it comes to courting a woman, which is probably why he's here, like Stacey said. Um, he is a CID agent, which means he's pretty much a private investigator, pretty much a detective. And I feel like he did his assessment on all of the women early. And we complain about him not being open. We complain about him not being good, but we really can't say anything that he's done bad. The conversation with Corvea, Corvea was set in her ways and we were supposed to support her for that. But when he said that he feels like a child is broken, that's his opinion. And we should be accepting of that, right? So from what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing anything that he's doing bad per se. It's just not what we're expecting to see. So, and because you don't like him, it seems a lot worse than what it really is.
Yeah,
Can I get the last word on that?
absolutely.
Go ahead. I have one more point
No, go ahead,
about
brother. Go ahead.
I
Go
have
ahead.
one
Go
more
ahead.
point about the bracelet and the fact that he did it in front of everyone. Now that I think about it, I think that's actually a good sign. When he came up with the nickname It wasn't like that just came off of the top of his head. It was really just some corny thing that just came up at that time. So clearly it wasn't well thought out. It wasn't premeditated. It just happened. He was trying to spit something because the cameras is on and he's struggling, and that's just what came out. But I don't think it's really like a controlling thing. Go ahead.
He probably couldn't remember her whole name at the time and just called her Susu. Like, that's probably how it happened.
That part.
He knew her name was Sue something and couldn't remember and said Susu. That's what it was.
I mean, and that could be. But I'll say this. So when everybody says, they make these comments and they say, oh, he's just trying to hang in there to stay on the show and blah, blah, blah. You gotta look at the big picture. And when you see him around everybody but Sue-Ann, he is not spitting that pee. He is not trying to engage. He's not spitting no game. He's not exchanging pleasantries. He's just like, I don't want to be here for you. Like, next date. He's giving that whole energy. So why, if he wants to just be there to keep it moving, why would he not be, running that game on these other ladies?
Paul, it's difficult to have conversations on a dating show with someone you don't want to date.
Yeah.
We've seen the women struggle with it. We've seen the women struggle sitting next to Dre, struggle sitting next to Lyndon. We don't say anything bad about them. We don't say that they're being condescending and all about themselves. So we got to look at it both ways. He's just getting a lot of airtime, and it's just looking really bad.
Well, like I said, brother, I feel like if he wanted to make this last, you have to give some sort of effort. And after each date, he says, I wasn't interested. He's saying that.
I don't see anything wrong with that. It wasn't a good date. Why are you putting me on this?
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that he is not buying into the game or the gaming aspect of this show. So there's a connection thing, and then there's a game piece to this. He's not trying to stay in the game. He's just trying to, continue doing what he's doing with Sue. That's it. The end.
I was about to say, does that mean we're finished discussing Blake?
Yeah. We're done. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, these comments is
great. Because I could do this all night, but let's move on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because, honey, we could sit and talk about Blake all night long, honey. We could talk about Blake all night long.
I think right. And I think this is a classic conversation of a male perspective versus a female perspective. Even though there were some females in the chat that disagree with me, and that's cool too. But just, it's a good conversation. But I think that's why you have a diverse panel, because people see things, from different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
All right. Let me bring my notes up. Oh, shoot. I haven't been putting my pictures up there. Y'all know I got to go ahead and swarm it real quick. Why? Okay. So next we have Anthony. I'm so engaged in the conversation. Next we have Anthony, who meets Cynthia for a one-on-one date. Anthony asks Cynthia, does she see marriage in her future? She's like, heck yeah, I see it. I caught the bouquet. Okay. Anthony then asks, do you think that her husband is in the process? And she replies, I hope so. She says that she is ready and she doesn't want to go through life by herself. She wants someone for the long haul that is going to ride the wave with her. Anthony replies and says everything she is saying sounds so good. She then asks Anthony, what does his future look like? And he says marriage and possibly a little Anthony Anthony running around. At the end of the date, Cynthia states that she's like, I know like everybody gonna say like I like everybody, and she said, but Anthony is different. Anthony and Cynthia. And shout out to Cynthia, girl. I had to slide in her DM. I was like, girl, oh my God. I was like, I love you, girl. But anyway, all right, Cynthia and Anthony.
I like Cynthia. I think
outside
she's
of that,
very intentional.
yeah, I feel like when she said, when he asked
Sorry,
the
I have such a
question
bad
of,
delay, y'all.
oh, I'm so sorry, my bad. Oh,
Really
okay.
be? Oh, okay.
Um,
All right, P.O., go ahead.
no, I was just going to say when she said to him, uh, or when he said to her, you think your husband is in this process?" And she said, maybe or whatever, hope so. To me, that was a soft no. That was a soft no, and I feel like,
Oh.
you know, yeah, it just felt like a soft no, and it just seemed to me like, I don't know. I just don't really. I haven't seen anything where she was solidly connecting on any level with anybody. So I'm kind of, you know, well, damn. I'm kind of.
I mean,
Paul,
she
I
can't
took
just
that.
give up.
Go ahead.
I took that, Paul, as her flirting. That was a soft flirt. It wasn't a soft no. It's like hint, hint. I hope so. Looking dead at you, kid. Like what are you doing? How did you miss that?
Yeah,
I mean,
That's
she
because
why
can't.
you
I mean,
single. That's why you single. You missing
for
it. You
me,
miss. You miss our love
for,
language.
nah, for me, I mean, I'm direct. I'm like the direct communication. So if he's sitting across from her and he says that, or she says that, why not say, well, maybe I'm looking at him, or I hope I'm looking at him, or something like that, and not leave this, this area of me having to interpret that. Because for me, I would have been like, oh, okay, maybe, okay, soft. No, let me get up. Check, please.
No, she can't just give him the panties. She did everything but give him the panties at the table. Come on, Paul.
I mean, I
I
saw
think
the, I saw the, no, I saw the pleasantries. I did see that. You know what I mean? But it just, I don't know. I didn't see anything where, I don't know. I would have interpreted that differently. But that's me. So,
I took it as like she wants him to lead when it comes to that. That's that's what I got from it. I think she's definitely feeling him. I actually made a clip on how I believe that Anthony has been the one this whole time. And she's been telling the whole group that Anthony is the one that she's feeling, and Anthony is the one that she talks to, with her body language. I do feel like that cry that she had with Andre was like a cleansing, which let her, get her thoughts together and truly understand what she really wants and what she's really looking for, because she looks at Andre totally different. I think I might have mentioned that she looks at him as if she's still trying to figure him out, but she seems a whole lot more sure with um, Anthony. And
yeah,
we
well,
saw the watch
I'm
at
sorry.
this date too, so I got excited about that.
Well,
And
I
I
don't
just
know
wanted to be
how.
clear. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say one thing. I just wanted to be clear. I don't think that she's a bad person. I don't think that she's misrepresenting herself. I don't think that she's, being fake or phony. It's just that, I'm not seeing those connections, that solid, line in the sand uh, brewing. I mean, maybe there's still a little bit left to go, but I don't know. Number one
Okay.
comment.
Yeah, I was just waiting, just trying to get in there, trying to get my minute in. Thank you. Um, Responding to what Ty said, it was saying like Cynthia looked at, I guess, Andre and Anthony different. On that episode, when she fell in love with Andre, she said he was the one. So I don't know how we can take that any other way. He was the one. Game over. that's her man and all that. Then in confessional Cynthia, her conscience broke out and said, well, people gonna start thinking that I like everybody. Guess what? I'm one of those people. It's just like she blows with the wind. Now, granted, she is my favorite person on this show. However, the flaws I see in her is more like she's always trying to be deep because people are so impressed by the connection. Me is okay because at the same time she was talking to Anthony and she just made a uh asking Anthony about like what does a healthy relationship look like, and she said something to the lines of, well, if you don't if children don't make a man, like, I guess, fall in love or something. It was just something empty because they were going along with the children theme or whatever. I don't see that connection. I think I think, does she want love? Of course, but I think she blows with the wind. I'm done.
Thou shalt not do any Cynthia slander over here, Jada, because I love her more and more every episode, more and more. But what I want to point out and highlight is that I've been saying it from the very beginning. Anthony is worth paying attention to. He is the husband material on this season. He is the epitome of husband on this season. And on episode 2, where he was MIA and they really didn't develop much of his story, I was missing that because, he had led with, he loves his daughter, like he's a family man, like all of these wonderful things. So I'm glad that we're actually being able to see a little more develop around him, like where we can get to know him more because he's the husband on the show.
Yeah, and if you go back to the group date, Anthony is the only person that asked her about her during all the interrogations. I like him.
I like Anthony too. I'm glad we're seeing more of him because in the beginning, like the first 3 episodes, I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, isn't there someone else? Like Lyndon is kind of MIA, of course, as we've seen him in the previews. Mercedes, like it's just so many people that, and maybe the reason that they didn't show him so much in the beginning episodes, maybe because they're going to be in the end, towards the end, because yeah, like they just was MIA. I know for me, I think I was MIA for like 2 episodes, like episode 3 and 4. I was like, where I go? I was like, what they gonna do? So, but whatever. Does anyone have anything else to say about Cynthia and Anthony?
I left you a note in the private chat. I'll leave it up to you.
You can play it. You're muted.
By audio, it's just voice.
Yeah, you could do audio.
So, okay. So basically, it's less than a minute, but I found this clip from the date that I created, and what I did was, it's just audio of the fellas asking Cynthia.
Anyone else around here is your type? Oh, wow. We all have different styles over here, so I don't want you to say everyone.
Hold on.
I will.
Huh?
Try to do
it's only voice. So
no, it was footage.
No sound effect.
No, you can see it.
Yeah,
okay.
you can.
Okay.
Everyone
you
is
can
my
see
type.
it. See?
Okay.
I don't have. Let me tell you.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Oh no, tag. There's no way that you can just play it without.
By turning the audio down?
No. Well, even if you turn
turning
the
off
audio
the video.
down, yeah, like we could. It would have to be one or the other. Like we would, but we wouldn't be able to take the video out without the audio.
Okay. Basically, what I was trying to show is they ask her who is her type, and her mouth says everyone is my type, but her eyes and her body looks directly at Anthony. And then I play it in slow motion too. So there's really no audio after he asked the question.
Right. I wonder how long. Let me see.
Okay. As you get older, you understand that you cannot take someone for what you
Oh,
see. So I
Okay.
don't want to be making a decision based
right.
on how someone
can-
looks
Right.
and not giving them a chance.
Cynthia explained a little bit more what she meant.
I might be reaching.
No, it's
I don't
not
know.
on his screen. It's on another screen. Okay, but I mean, we saw it. We saw it like twice in slow motion. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know it because I know I've been in situations where my focus might have been over there, but I might have been like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think because it was so soon, she had just come into the process. I don't know, because remember she was filling Andre or Dre. No, she was filling Andre at that time. She had just had that date with him. She got emotional. She was like, I'm really feeling him. And then she, was there. So I just don't know. I don't know. I think it might be a little reaching, Tyrone.
No, Tyrone. You might be on to something, my brother.
What?
But you know what? It could be.
I mean, there is two other reasons that I explained.
Tyrone, you reaching because he's the one that asked the question. So
No, he wasn't. Tony asked. Tony asked the question.
Which? Oh, my bad. I stand corrected. Let me sit back down.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't mean like, yeah. I meant like, I'm agreeing, but not. Let me be quiet.
Tyrone got slick real quick.
No. I was trying to show that I wasn't. But there was also another difference in the date because in this date, she also extended her hand to Anthony. And then in the previous date, Andre had to ask to walk her to the car. Might be reaching. Yeah. I might be reaching.
That's right. No, yeah, that's right. Because their date happened afterwards. But I mean, you might be right. She might have walked in and was feeling Andre from the very beginning. I mean, I keep saying Andre. He must be coming back or something. I must be talking him up.
I said he's coming back.
Anthony. Okay. I mean, you deliver, so I'm tripping. I guess you're right. Yeah. Well, okay. So moving forward, does anyone have anything else to say about Anthony and Cynthia?
The watch. I might be reaching, but we did see the watch. So, okay. Okay.
All right. So I have a lot of notes on this just because it was a lot. Like, this was one of those scenes where after I did my notes, I was like, would they be mad at me if I didn't have any more notes for the rest of the show because I'm tired of typing? I'm just exhausted at this point, but we're going to go ahead and move forward. We're going to talk about Demario and Jeffrey. They meet on a one-on-one date. Jeffrey does ask Demario what he thought about the boat party yesterday. He says it was very interesting. They played a very fun game. Jeffrey says that she was a little sad because they didn't get any time together. She said that his energy was a little off and he was occupied the whole time. He said, well, you were occupied too. And he was like, yeah, you could tell like my attitude probably kind of shifted a little bit. Jeffrey states that he didn't think she was occupied, she said she wasn't occupied. Demario says, well, during the game you were. Jeffrey says, well, I was by myself over there the whole time while the game was going on. And Demario says, nah, you know what I'm talking about. He says, you shared a kiss with Mark Anthony. And he says pretty much now, like it was hard for him or whatever. Jeffrey says that it was concerning for her that Demario was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He didn't look the same he didn't look at her the same anymore. And he says that, or she says that he seems really pissed off about the situation. She says that DeMario did not show up for her on the boat. She was like, did you come looking for me? Like, did you come see me? And she said, well, Mark Anthony did. Like, you know, he showed up for me. And that's why she chose Mark Anthony. DeMario then replies, well, what would your kids say about you kissing someone? Jeffrey said that he had no reason to be upset with her. She can't have a man like him around her, and he is now on her cancellation list. DeMario says that he dodged 3 bullets. 1, he has not seen her without makeup. 2, she doesn't take criticism well. And number 3, she doesn't know what Mark Anthony she doesn't know Mark Anthony, and she was kissing some random. He said he saw what he saw, and he is moving according to what he saw. The end. I have no more notes after that. No, I'm just joking. So, who want to go first?
Let me get mine in before y'all start.
Okay, right, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Let me get it out the way, short and sweet. With this DeMario situation, I mean, I see with not just with DeMario, with a whole lot of these people, why they're single and why they're on this show. I think DeMario really exposed himself, his lack of maturity. People have an argument saying like, well, you know, that was his connection and he was hurt by it. And, you know, he reacted, I guess, properly or whatever. Going in this situation, you know, it's not a normal situation. It's a group setting, and you're supposed to try to make connections throughout, you know, all the cast members. And he just really got nasty like with her, and then started talking about what about your kids, like he's judging her, and that didn't show maturity, and it was disappointing. He had like some type of on him about it. I didn't like to see it. And Jeffrey said it right. I put this man on my cutoff list, and she should, because he showed her who he was. So I'm glad he's gone.
So I'll say this. You know, regardless of, I mean, especially even in this process, I know it's an accelerated type of deal, but you don't know that woman well enough to interject her children into a conversation. And I think, you know, that should just be straight up off limits, and, you know, things like that. Now I mean, that's kind of like going along the same lines of saying, what kind of mother are you? You know, what I mean, it's violating. I think that was mad disrespectful. I would never, you know, tell a man to talk to a woman like that. Now, I get it. You know, he probably was speaking out of frustration and stuff like that. But, you know, I like DeMario, but he gets a ding for that one right there. Secondly, I feel like, you know, he could have probably, you know, maybe handled that whole thing a lot differently. You know, I mean, he obviously felt some type of way, so he must have really been feeling Corvea. But Corvea said something. I mean, not Corvea, goodness, Jeffrey. He must have been really feeling Jeffrey all like that, because Jeffrey, she hit him with you didn't apply pressure though. He applied pressure, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, he came in with his game, and you know, so, you know, yeah, that was his fault. If you you know, if you're not putting your foot down and saying, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I'm trying to do, you know, folks be moving on, and that's what happened. Simple as that. Next.
Does anybody have
Stacy really be?
I feel like I feel like DeMario, I'm not sure what was going on with DeMario, but I'm with you, Paul. I think the minute first of all, I think that was very immature for him to be that upset over the kiss. But when he brought her children into it, yeah, I don't know. She handled it a lot better. I don't even have kids, and she handled it better than I would have. I don't know. I agree with you, Paul. That was like, almost like, are you, you know, like what kind of mother are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have probably handled that. They might have had to edit that out because I probably would have cussed him out because I do feel like that was crossing the line. I didn't even understand why he was even going there. Like it was almost like you would, the way he was acting, you would think that she laid down on the man in the middle of the floor and humped on him or something. Like it was a kiss, bruh. Like chill out. It's a game. I just didn't understand his extreme reaction. Like I just didn't understand that. And when he brought up the kids, it was a lot. It was a lot. So yeah, I was ready for him to go after that. Like I was done then. I was like, he can go.
Yeah. I feel like I've actually lived a journey close to this. So I understood. I think the emotional maturity is lacking in DeMario. I do understand that. He probably did feel some way about Jeffrey. I can also understand him having some type of conservative values when it comes to, the way that he's seeing his mate or future mate act. He took that kiss really, really hard. But he also needs to understand that he needs to keep those other connections growing. Um, I was with him until he started explaining it, and I lost him after that. It made me think he's probably never seen the show. It also made me think that in this environment, it's just not going to do well, which is why I actually like the group settings in the boat, because they can't run. People are going to show you who they are. They're going to show you who they like and who they don't like. I actually feel like they should do that like the second episode. When he mentioned the kids, I was done with him. I just felt like there's really nothing else to show after he mentioned the kids. When it
Agreed.
came to when he came to the confessionals, I felt like that was an opportunity for him to clear his name, but he actually just made it worse. She called him out by not talking to her on the boat. So, that was the point of the show. The math ain't mathin'. Like, how can you're not even talking to anyone, but you still expect them, to show some type of loyalty to you. Meanwhile, you're hurt about Corvea leaving. And then the third thing is, if he ain't never seen her without makeup, that means there's a level of intimacy that I ain't never been there. So she don't owe him nothing if that's the case. The only reason he should be mad is if they had a conversation and she let him know that he was the one, and then they kissed, and then she didn't deny the kiss because she could have. That would have made sense, but since none of that took place, after he mentioned the kids, he needed to go anyway, just for not knowing that you don't mention nobody kids ever.
I agree, Ty. Like I was rocking with DeMario, through this, and the only thing that I disagree with you about was the fact that you assert that he was still upset about Corvea leaving, but that ain't it, because his main person who he's hurt behind was Jeffrey, kissing Jeffrey. But what it sounds like to me, like what really got me, I'm a woman with kids, right? I know you don't bring nobody kids up. You don't play behind mine. But it also struck me as 19, if you take the kiss, how minuscule of an issue it was. If you take the kiss, if you also take um um the comment that he's saying about what would your kids think. To me, I'm from the South. That's what people say to try to control us sometimes. What would your family think? What would your friends think if you do this? That is like, y'all have listed all the ways that Blake showed that he was controlling. This was the number one way that DeMario showed me he is as well. Like it rubbed me all kinds of wrong, and I wanted to pack my bags and go for the hills. Actually, I wanted to go and tell my kids what he said so he can call on behalf of all the kids in the world and say, "Don't be talking about us when you talking to our mamas."
Mm-hmm. Well, let me say this one piece to that, because I also there's variance to this, right? And so I feel like the only way that I probably wouldn't really feel like what he said wasn't wrong is if they somehow caught part of a conversation where she might have called him a, something, 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 something. And he said, I mean, is that how you talk to people? Like, how would your kids feel if you said that to them? Or whatever, that type of statement. And they edited that in and chopped it in. But the way it came off, it would seem like it was just straight up. But they have their ways of doing their little things. So, I mean, but if it happened just like how we saw it, yeah, come on, bruh. You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Paul, my one disagreement is, I'm sorry, Sabrina.
Nope, you're fine.
My one disagreement with you, Paul, is that even if it didn't happen the way we saw it, he said what he said. You can't excuse that foolishness at all. Like,
I understand.
the
I understand.
lack
I
of
understand that.
the lack of not just emotional maturity, but just maturity in general that he showed. He's not composed. He has a lack of control over himself and his reactions. He purports small things when they're really not such a big deal. Things that's happening before your face, you're purporting it like it's this huge, immense shocker. And again, I forgot which one of y'all said it a few moments ago. Like, you want loyalty and praise from people that you're not willing to do the same for. That's ridiculous to me. I said, I liked him. He was one of my favorites. But the emotional immaturity, just everything. I'm over him.
Listen, I am not saying that I'm in agreement with any of that. What I'm saying is if they tied some sort of awkward moment or some part of a conversation in there to stitch that in for us to hear it raw like that, then that would be an issue, right? But as it stands, as the way that I heard it, I don't agree with it at all. Period. Next.
Sorry about that. I was just actually typing in the chat. It is only, it was 79 when I put it up there. Yeah, it's only 71 thumbs up. Just want to take a quick pause because I want to say it is 217 of you watching us right now. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for joining. But if you are enjoying the show, please take a moment to go up, hit that thumbs up button. We would love the support if you are enjoying the show. If not, doesn't matter. Just keep watching and, make sure you also follow us on social media. Shout out to Another Round. She has been in the chat and she has been putting the links up in the chat with our social media. So shout out to Another Round. If you guys don't know who Jay from Another Round is, she actually does commentary on her YouTube channel and she is also on Instagram. Make sure you follow and support Another Round as well. Thank you, girl, for putting our social media up there so you guys can follow us and support. So does anyone have, moving forward, does anyone have anything else? Tyrone, you look like you're about to say something, so I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, just one last thing. Somebody reminded me that we need to give DeMario the same energy that we gave a lot of the fellas last season, because we thought that confessionals was the way to clear themselves. But in the confessionals, they continued to belittle the women, and we got on them about that. So we need to give DeMario that same energy about continuing to belittle the women on the way out. That's not a good look, bro.
Oh, he gets that energy from me. Oh, he got it. He got all the smoke.
I'm not sure because, well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we kind of giving it to. I feel like the chat is really going in on tomorrow. I feel like we don't have to because the chat turned him up.
Well, right, but okay. Look how petty the whole makeup comment was. These women are on a show in front of a national audience. The hell you talking about? You ain't seen somebody without makeup. What? What?
I mean,
Are
he's
you
got a valid
crazy?
point there.
You can see somebody without makeup when you're in their private quarters, but which you haven't been invited to. Clearly, I can see if it was like, oh well, she wears an excessive amount of makeup for my taste. If he can, but he felt rejected, and he was trying to find any little condescending way to come after this woman in a very petty and superficial way. Like that whole barefoot and pregnant mentality that some people have, like you just gonna reduce this lady to nothing in your own little shady petty way. No sir, unacceptable. Unacceptable. I would expect more from you. You run no risk of being a stepdaddy to anybody's kids. Goodbye.
Somebody has an echo.
It ain't me this time.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, it definitely had me taken back by his comment. My thing is for him to, it just kind of felt like he was just like jab, 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 you know, like, well, she didn't wear makeup. I haven't seen her without makeup, and she probably this and probably like, it just seemed like he was so in his feelings, in his ego. I mean, I don't know. It just shows me that I really don't think he's ready to love. I feel like he needs to go do some soul searching and go, I mean, because I'm gonna keep it 100. I said it on my live and I say it all the time. Would I personally have kissed somebody on national TV? No, I wouldn't have done it. You know, if anything, I would have given them like a peck on the cheek or whatever, but to just be kissing somebody on the mouth, y'all know, and the people, my followers, my loyals know, I'm not going to kiss nobody on the mouth because I don't know where, like, what was you doing last night? Like, I'm just not going to do that. That's just me. That's just me. I don't knock nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I know on our season, people was dating me and they was smashing the night before somebody else. And I know this is for fact. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, no, I'm not going to just be going around. I don't kiss random people in the mouth. And he right. She don't know Mark. She don't know Mark Anthony. And I get it. It was just a peck. And I know me and Stacey B, we was going back and forth last week about it. Like, it was just a peck. That's just my opinion. Everybody is different. Some people are like, it was just a peck. It was a game. It's not that serious. Then you got people like me, like, yeah, I'm not going to transfer no bodily fluids. I don't know you. Like, I don't know. Like, first of all, I need to know, do you like men or women? Just because you want to show, like, that's the first thing I need to know before I be kissing you. I don't know. That's the first thing. The second thing is I need to see some paperwork. I need to see some receipts. I'm negative. I need to see something. I'm just saying. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Now, how he handled it and how he went off and how he, you know, was upset by it, that was a little bit much. I know if my connection kissed somebody else, I might have been like, oh, so we kissing on the lips now. So the first thing I'm going to think, I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to be like, so if they felt comfortable enough to kiss each other, so like, have they kissed before? Like, why she feel so comfortable to kiss him in the mouth? Yeah, he checked on me 3 times, but that don't mean the man at Rose's Italian restaurant checked on me 3 times too last night when I went to go eat. I'm not gonna kiss him on the mouth. Is everything okay, ma'am? He was a great server, but I'm not gonna kiss him on the mouth. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is different. You know what I mean? Like, I don't knock nobody for what they do. If I'm in the process, I might be in my feelings a little bit like, oh, so he kissing people now. Okay. You know, but it just would make me kind of at that point want to talk to him to find out a little bit more like, well, how close are y'all? Like, do you feel like you and I have a stronger connection, or do you feel like that you guys have a stronger, like, I would start asking questions, you know what I mean? Especially if he kissed her in front of me and he felt comfortable enough to do that. Just like she said, he came and checked for me. That's why I chose him. And I'd have been like, dang, okay. So if I really like her, you know what? I'm going to start checking for her too. But I ain't seen her without makeup. So if that's the case, that's how you was feeling before she kissed the boy. Like, you was thinking in your head 3 episodes ago.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
without makeup. Like, you was already thinking it.
Yep.
You know.
I just, and not only that, though. I don't understand.
First of all, you were already thinking it. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I don't.
But
I don't
not
understand.
only not
Oh,
only
I'm
when
sorry.
you're already thinking it, but at the same time, the stuff that you say, you're the kind of person that when you get in an argument, you just say that's the kind of stuff you just come out your mouth. Like, because I ain't never even seen her without makeup. Like, what? Like, maybe it's me. I don't see what the big deal with any of this is. Like, men, first of all, she didn't even have on that much daggone makeup. Like, let's start there. But men, women wear makeup. Get over it, right? That's what it is. Like, I don't see I don't see the big deal with kissing, but I respect how everybody else feels about it. But it wouldn't have bothered me. I wouldn't have cared. And if we were playing the game and that was part of the game, I don't care. But it again, that just to me, like I mean, that's just like anybody. Even if me and Tyrone get into an argument and we're just friends, have a disagreement, he says some stuff that he knows he's trying to be hurtful. That's a problem for me. Like, we can argue and we get to going for the jugular, and you making comments about my kids, and I've never even seen you without makeup. Like, what are you talking about? Like, something like Stacey B said, it's something emotionally immature about him.
Yeah, because he had to go home, change, prepare his thoughts because they knew they was going to ask him about it in the confessionals. Came back to talk about it and discuss it, and still had that to say.
Yeah, he's still sucking his thumb and kicking his feet real hard at the principal's desk like a child. That's what he's doing, like a doggone child. Somebody give him a sippy cup.
He was like, I can't wait. I'm gonna say something about her in the makeup. I'm gonna get her good. Yeah, she gonna feel me. She gonna feel this because I'm hurting. I'm upset. Honey, I was like, oh my God, what is he gonna say next? So
can I say something? I just want to address the whole entire everybody, the crowd, the audience, and the panel. And I'll say this about men. When we go on to Ready to Love, the men are not going there looking for love. Like, I haven't seen any man that said, oh, I'm broken and I have to go here. I want to look for love. Yeah, I haven't seen that. But what you do find is you find men getting into this process and they're starting to learn either about themselves or about the other women, and that allows them to open up. But, just walking right in a room, these guys aren't like filling out papers because they had, had difficulty in the streets trying to find love. It's just an opportunity to do it a little bit differently. And at the end of the day, like I said, a lot of people just go in there and then they open up later on. So if you're saying, like Blake or Demario or whoever ain't there looking for love, no one came there for that. From the men's side, I'll say that. Am I right or wrong, Tyrone?
Tyrone?
You mean this season? This season?
Yeah, this season. Mm-hmm.
No, I could see a couple that are ready. I could also see them struggle trying to get there, and it's coming out on TV.
Yeah, but Tyrone, hold on. Let me play J-Dub for a minute. All right. Look, the question is, just be straight up. Did these dudes go through all of this stuff, psychological exams and 15 different interviews and all this stuff because they had relationship issues and they needed the show to put it together for them?
I wouldn't say that. I think it was an opportunity for them to meet women who are vetted and that could match them, and that they're probably assuming that, they're probably the cream of the crop women. So the chances of that happening is higher than normal. But as far as them like going in saying, hey, I'm going to get a wife out of this, probably not. And there's some guys that clearly aren't there for that. Clearly.
Okay, just keep in mind we are talking about Miami, Florida, in the United States of America.
Yeah, I could see some guys that are open to it. I could see some guys that are open to that.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, being open, but relying on the show, saying, "Hey, this show is going to solve my problems. I'm relying on this to correct the relationships that I didn't have," is what I'm saying. And so, women, they're looking at it from when they see men and they want to talk about love and all of that stuff, they're looking at us and they're saying, you know, they're looking at it from a different perspective. They want to get all ooey gooey and, get into the emotional part of us. And the men aren't showing up in that way. They turn out that way throughout the process, but they're not walking in the door feeling like, hey, this is going to be, I'm going to find my one here. That's all I'm saying. Next subject.
Yeah, I was going to say, does anyone have anything else to say about Demario and Jeffrey? All right. Oh, Lord. Next, we have a group date with Marcia, Jeffrey, Blue, and Blake. Everyone seems to be so relaxed on the date during the vibrations, but Blake did not. He says the vibrations were really, really loud. He says it was weird and it was uncomfortable. Marcia brings up the tension between Jeffrey and Blake. Blake says that it ain't even worth addressing. Jeffrey says that, oh, I'm fine. Like, I'm good. He was the one with the concerns. Blake says that he is not going to give Jeffrey the sword to use against him. The group does do artwork, and Blake shows his, which is has a bunch of timepieces and luxury scenes. He talks about how time is the most important commodity and it should be taken advantage of in order to achieve the luxury things and things that you enjoy in life. Jeffrey responds to his art and says that she notices everything is materialistic. Blake responds by saying that she missed the whole concept. Jeffrey responds that it's another wasted time with Blake. Blue talks about his artwork and Marcia likes it, and Jeffrey is very impressed. She wants to leave that pathway open with Blue to see where it goes. They're on the same level. They have the same mindset. So she's very interested in seeing where it goes. And Blue is also interested in seeing where something could go with Jeffrey. Blake and Jeffrey both agree that they will move on. Thoughts?
Let me get in here for they take over. Let me get in here real quick. Let me get my minute in. 1 minute, 60 seconds. With this scene, I really thought that production was just trying to stir up some drama. I didn't even see why these four people were sitting in front of each other. It was just like such a negative web effect. So we talking about, of course, we know Jeffrey and Blake has the ongoing beef about he said, she said, and who wants who and all that going on. Then we even have the situation with Marcia and Blue where they had that disaster date, but I don't think Marcia sees it that way. She pretty much dismissed Blue's children. She dislikes every single thing that he likes, but still feels like there is a possibility. Now, with the whole situation with the beef with Jeffrey and Blake, I'm on Jeffrey's side, but I really did not like her in this moment. She like nitpicked with Blake, and it just seems super duper petty on this note. So if the man has shown you himself, just let him be, leave him alone, cut him out your life, ignore him, whatever you're going to do. Because I did actually I understood the collage of what Blake was saying, even though that's
right.
That's an opinion of how you see things, or that's subjective. But she didn't have to pick at him, so I thought this was just a scene for mess because Marcia is now playing the mediator between all of this. It didn't make sense, so I'm done.
Yeah, I would say when I watched that, I'm like, why don't they just go smash? because it feels like there's something pent up between Jeffrey and Blake, and for and for me, I, I feel like they probably had something, initially, because now let's just walk backwards. Jeffrey said that Blake was calling her on the phone, blah blah blah, and talking all of this, and this is where she found out that he was, I don't know, controlling. But we never saw the interactions that would have even led up to them talking to each other on the phone. So they may have had something there, and something went wrong, and somebody wasn't feeling something from somebody. Now, for Jeffrey, who I like, is still taking digs at Blake, then that says that there's something in her that has been hurt, because people that don't bother you, you don't bother them. It's as simple as that. And so I feel like Blake may be being dismissive towards her, and that's sort of fueling that anger. Like, why are you not paying me the attention? Why are you not buying into this? She's taking these digs at Blake's artwork, and Blake, is explaining to her what it is, and she's dissing the artwork. But it's just something, I think, that was there before that we may not know of or heard of or whatever, that has created this monster. And I think we might find this out later on.
Tyrone.
Whew. All right, so I have been in a couple like emotionally abusive relationships, and I was kind of triggered by this date. I feel like Jeffrey enjoys picking at him. And it happened from the moment that they walked in. Blake was going to sit down across from her, and you can hear Jeffrey say crisscross applesauce, which means like, don't sit in front of me. And Blake was probably triggered from that moment on. I understand them having the date because in the end, like, we want to see growth, right? So I imagine production did have something to do with Marcia bringing it up. And if they're going to have Blake and Jeffrey in the room, then having the energy from Marcia and Blue would even all that out. It's almost as if, you're in a marriage and the wife knows how to upset you, but also knows that you ain't going nowhere. It just feels like that. And it was obvious that he was just trying his best to be cordial, and she just couldn't accept that. When it comes to like this picture and the noises, he said it was painful. I had mentioned something about PTSD. I don't want to say he has it, but I totally understand because he said it was painful. And like I said, like ever since last week, I started to understand him, a lot more. Like, he's not doing anything like wrong or bad. He just is in these situations to where he just can't win. He not feeling Marcia and definitely ain't feeling Jeffrey. So with production putting them in the room together, it's either them trying to be messy and egging it on. It's almost feeling like they even egged on DeMario because they know he was saying that, but they just kept it anyway. But I was on Blake's side for this date.
Real quick, sorry to interrupt, but crisscross applesauce means to sit with your legs crossed like Indian style, like they're sitting. That means crisscross applesauce, because that's what they say in my daughter's school.
No, I understand, but I feel like Blake took it differently because he said, "Oh, you want me to switch sides?" And then that's when him and Blue switched sides because he was already standing there.
I think Blake said, "Let's switch sides."
It was
I know you the editing man.
It was Jeffrey. She said crisscross applesauce. Maybe because she has kids and all that stuff, so maybe.
Ty, you being like Blake.
Shoot, he got
you
3
being like
years.
Blake now. Sabrina just told you crisscross applesauce means cross your legs, and you just dismissed her. I don't like it.
I didn't
No,
dismiss it.
but really,
I said, but they crossed when she said it. Blake was already there. He didn't just sit down and cross his legs. He moved to the other side, so he may have taken it as if she wants him to move, which would have triggered him.
Which means he might not know what crisscross applesauce means.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's why I said, well, he got 3 kids. He should know, but he really might not know, you know. So
I mean, but that's a pretty standard thing to know if you have kids that's ever been in elementary or preschool. That's like when you want to gather everybody together on the mat and them sit, you know, with their legs crossed so they can all squeeze in and fit in.
Yeah, he really might not have known.
But I mean, at the same time, there's 4 adults sitting there too.
Yeah. Really, B?
Finish, Paul. Go ahead, finish.
No, I was just saying there's 4 adults sitting there. So why are we talking like kids? It's, you know, again, let's just say what it is.
Okay, so crisscross applesauce, yeah, it just means cross your legs. I don't think it was a big deal. I think it was just a joke when people are talking like, okay, crisscross applesauce, like she probably got kids, or when she has kids, it's probably been the daycare with the kids or something like that. Like it's just something that. But I'm with you on this one, Ty. I think that Jeffrey spent this whole day antagonizing Blake, but I think, and I think it starts with production / Marcia. Because I do not think they invested in, let's see what's going on. And I think that was production setting up a scene for Blake and Jeffrey because of all of the other conflicts that they've been having. But because my thing was, even when it came down to his vision board, how you gonna sit there and tell that man that, I just think that's materialistic. What are you talking? He took pictures of watches and he literally explained what he meant. And what you that is materialistic. So I do think in that moment, I think Jeffrey was being antagonistic from what we saw, that entire date. And I'm sure it was uncomfortable for Blake, because whether I personally like Blake or not, it's clear that Blake and Jeffrey don't rock. So of all the people that you could have had a double date with, you choose the one person that it's a connection there. Now you're just creating TV. This is no longer about trying to find love and helping Jeffrey or Blake find a connection. This is about creating a moment, because there was no reason in the world for either. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't interested in that scene. Once I saw, I'm not interested in the scene anymore. I have no interest because I already know what I'm getting. You know, okay, Blue, because first of all, Marcia should have been the one sent home over Corvea. All the guys have already said they're not feeling her. So why is saying, oh, she's like homegirl vibe? So Blue was the main one that said it. So you got Blue with her, and then you have Blake and Jeffrey, who we already know don't rock. What was the purpose of this whole moment other than create strife?
That's true.
Stacy B, are you good to talk?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Did I mute it?
I hear you. Yep.
Perfect. Y'all see how I rushed home to come? Made it.
Thank you. I heard you going through the trenches too. I was like, she getting it together. We appreciate you.
I was driving. I was across town.
Yeah. Thank you for showing up. So we are, I don't know if you know, but
we appreciate the love.
Absolutely.
I missed y'all.
We missed you. So we're talking about the group date with Blake, Blue, Marcia, and Jeffrey. And we would like to hear your thoughts on that whole date we're talking about how Jeffrey kind of antagonized Blake the whole time, and talking about the artwork that they did. And yeah.
She was most definitely antagonizing him. Like, there's no other word to say it. Like, if he would have said, oh, this is a artwork of the tree because I love Mother Nature and all that comes from it, she would have had some crazy foolishness to say. And I feel like she was being very immature, and you know, like it's women like is when some women act like that make it hard for other women to get a man to open up and to get him to be honest and vulnerable. Because when they are being honest and vulnerable, and he's telling you, hey, my love language, I appreciate time, this is important to me, and then here you got a woman trivializing his love language, like that was messed up. I don't care how what you said he said and what you said he did. Like, no, we're adults. Like, you can move on. It's time to let the shenanigans go and move on.
I think she liked Blake in real life.
Yeah, they had to know each other prior to this. They had to know each other prior to this.
Yeah.
I know it's something, but I'm gonna tell you this: if I don't like a man, I'm not gonna antagonize you. I'm not gonna call you. I'm not gonna text you. I'm not gonna attack you. I'm barely gonna look at you. So, but she just was like, Blake, why you got on a shirt? Blake, why are you breathing? Blake, why do you have to?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it,
you're blinking like somebody that's superficial. I don't like the way you blinking.
Yeah.
Right. Think about it. If you go back to when we were kids, you know, girls always used to hit the guys and pick on the guys that they really, really liked. You know what I mean? It's like that same, or the guys would, you know, mess with the girls and always pick on the girls that they really liked or that they were crushing on or whatever. It's too much energy that she's giving him for no reason. Like, you know, it should be like, you know, Blake, you're dead to me. Because why? I just don't like you. And simple as that. Not, oh, every time I see you, though, you know I'm going to have, you know, like women say, yeah, we're going to fight. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It just like really B said, as soon as they walked in the door and I saw all of them, well, screw it. When I saw Jeffrey and Blake, I was like, yeah, can I fast forward this part? I don't want to. Like, I'm just done. Like, and then someone said in the comments, like, how many scenes and dates did we not see? Like, we keep watching this crap. Like, what other dates? Like, we want to see those dates. I don't want to see them kind of going, but you know what? I don't know. Maybe they just needed some drama. They were like, let's go ahead and get that clip off the cutting room floor. Let's include it in this episode because we need a little bit of spice, a little bit of cayenne pepper. You know what I mean? So,
but you know what? But here's the thing. Sometimes I know, y'all know how sometimes we had to complete a scene or we had to go back and do an additional testimonial, you know, confessional to make whatever happened make sense. And I feel like in this, y'all still trying to get these two people to admit what was said to make it all make sense. And at this point, as a viewer, we just don't give a damn anymore. We sick of this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
No one.
But
my adult ADD has moved on. I want to see who's in love now, because we can't spend all day.
Rest assured that they're going to clear that up next episode, guaranteed.
It's going to take 3 episodes to clear up. He said, she said.
I hope not. Dear God, I don't even want to see it. And we're like, let's just move on. Like, let's look at Lyndon and Mercedes and let's figure out what Morgan and Tony got going on. Like, what's going on with Anthony and Cynthia? Like, I'm trying to see what's going on. Like, I don't want to see Jeffrey and Blake no more. Like, it is like someone said, it's given like they in the 7th grade now. And I appreciate Blake when he was like, you know what? It ain't nothing to address. Like, let's keep him. Let's just go. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm good. Like, he was the one that had the, you know, and it was just like, she was baiting him in, trying to bait him in, you know what I'm saying? And he just wasn't falling for it. And then when he made the thing up, that just looks real materialistic. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you what you thought. Like, you know. So if it was me, if it was me, I would have just been like, I would have thought it to myself, like, that's real material, or whatever it was. If it was negative, or like, I feel like if I didn't have nothing nice to say, I wasn't gonna say it. And if I don't like you, I'm probably not gonna have nothing nice to say. So why say anything at all? But like someone said in the comments, I'm sorry guys, you know I be putting your comments up there. Like someone says, they like, oh, you want drama? Jeffrey was like, you want drama? I forget who said it. They was like, oh, production set that up. Like, you want drama? I'ma give it to you. And that's exactly what she did. So, you know, I live for it. And shout out to Jeffrey. Like, I don't have no ill feelings towards Jeffrey. I love Jeffrey, actually. Like, I love, you know, who she is on the show. So shout out to all the castmates. We just giving our opinion on what we saw. No hate. We love the girl.
And let me say one thing, that because now this all makes sense in a sense. This makes sense that Blake never addressed it in the first place. And then they tried to loop him back into it and he wouldn't address it. But when you tie in the fact that that Blake is an ex-MP, right? And he's been in law enforcement, that means he understands the force continuum. And he also, has been trained in de-escalation. So I think those tactics are probably showing up where he's like, look, if I say something, I'm going to make this thing erupt. That's not who I am, and that's not how I deal with conflict. You know, I kind of squeeze it out and put the fire out and be done with it. Now I'm done.
Oh, sugar. J-Dub, you got anything?
No, I try to get mine out the way in the beginning.
Sometimes I know you be having some extra stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like after we like say what we have to say, you be wanting to say something. Oh, Stacey,
yeah,
you got something?
Sometimes, yep.
You good, Stacey? All right, Tyrone, you good? Oh, you're on mute, Ty.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I just want to give a shout out to you guys. We are doing so swell this episode. Thank you, panel. Shout out to you guys for like the flow is good. The flow is good. The conversation is good. I'm loving it. Also, too, real quick, take a pause. It's 118 thumbs up. We have 236 people watching. Shout out to you guys. If you could take a moment, take a pause. Go ahead and give a thumbs up so we can get those thumbs up to match the numbers of people that's actually watching. And I see them going up, so I thank you.
It is a nice free way to support. Yep, hitting that thumbs up is a free way to support the channel.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Don't cost you nothing. It's free to hit that thumb. All right, guys. We're going to move on from Jeffrey and Blake. I love it. Free 99. Oh my God. All right, let's move past them because that, yeah.
Yeah, they're getting on my nerves.
Right. So Jeffrey, obviously towards the end of that, we know that Jeffrey has now opened the door to Blue. So Blue has been invited in, and you remember he said that he left the door open on his artwork, and she is got the key. Okay. So Morgan and Tony go on a one-on-one date. Tony is asking a bunch of questions to try to pretty much get her to say him in all the answers, and she never does. She discloses that there are a lot of great men there. Tony says that he has no threats, especially to Lyndon. Tony says that he is tired of pretty much being alone, and the only thing that's missing in his life is a special person. She says that she's ready. She's ready for a relationship. She's ready to settle down. He's like, "You ready to be a mom?" He asked her, is the special person? She says, he asked her, is he the special person? And she says, if you play your cards right, but you got too many cards. After that, they pretty much share a kiss. She does give him a very hard time during this conversation because he wants her to say, yes, you, Tony. Yes, you are the one. Yes, I'm going to be your baby mama. Yes, yes, yes. And she pretty much said no. And what you gonna do, Tony? You got to get rid of your women. Tony said that this date was with Morgan made things much more difficult with his connections that he has with Jonique and Marcia.
I wish that Tony would make up his mind on who is it? Like, who do you want? Because I think after Morgan kissed, what's his face? Was it Mark? Well, I'm sorry, Lyndon. You know, he was like, "Oh, okay, well, whatever," and kind of eased up or whatever. I don't know. I don't get it. I like there's just something about Tony, man, that he's a New York dude, right? So, like, I know the beast, and I think that he's got, there's an agenda. I mean, this is the way that I'm feeling. I don't know if he's this guy in the real world, but I just feel like he's got an agenda. There's something up his sleeve.
Oh, okay, I get in there. So Smooth, up top Tony, or whatever they call him. I said from the beginning, he's from New York. That's the first strike if we giving strikes out. But we dealing with Morgan. I have more problem with Morgan. She's battling her intuition. She knows this dude is a slime ball. She knows he's playing and running game, and that he's
A
probably
whole slime ball?
ruined. Yep. Yep. Slime ball. That's being nice. He running game on her. He acting like, that's his lady and he's so intentional. And she knows that he's telling the other lady some of the same things or whatever. So it's yeah, just trust your gut. That's a lot of times with women and people in general. They don't trust their gut. It's the reason you're feeling that way. He's off. He ain't real, and he won't last. He might woo her for a couple of more episodes, or maybe they'll make it to the end, but he gonna break her heart in the end. Done.
Tyrone.
I just want to make sure J-Dub get his time.
Thank you. I need it.
Story time.
Nah, I'm just playing. I gotta give him credit. He looked smooth, right? I think this was his best look on the show, right? I think this date is very non-committal. I think I even called it a flirtationship. And I feel like we've seen this before, in previous seasons where, the women run into a guy that they feel like would be fun, but it's not going to be substantial. And I see that that's what she's feeling from him. And, he may be feeling the same thing about her, because to him, it doesn't seem like she is committing to him, and she isn't committing to him for a reason, and he's not committing to her for a reason. They kind of find out because none of them want to be vulnerable to each other. Then it's going to end up being like we've seen plenty of times before, where you end up alone. So I feel like that's what's going to happen. I don't even know where this kiss came from. They were just chatting it up, and then all of a sudden they kissing in the next
right
in the next shot. And then she had mentioned something about like "I hate you" when they was mumbling under their breath. So it's almost like she knows that they're just flirting, and she knows that it's almost as if she knows that he knows how to get to her, and she don't like that. She don't like that weakness about herself in front of him. But
Right.
she can't really help it. So it's aggravating to her. And it's almost as if like she doesn't trust him enough for him to not manipulate that and have that work in his favor. So she knows it would be better for him to just better for her to leave him alone. But she likes that feeling. She likes the chase. She likes being hunted. So, we've seen this. We saw this last year. We saw the game. When you're in the game, when you're part of the hunt, like, it's hard to let that go.
Ty, the whole I hate you thing, that's women flirting. I hate you. It's like coy language. Like it's interchangeable with like I love you. I super like you. Like I'm dripping for you right now. Like I hate you so much.
Whoa.
Like that's not like an actual I hate you. Or like
School them,
you're
Stacey.
like you're advantage of
I
me.
know.
It's mean like like you can't really put words to it. It's just like this action for women. That's it.
Thank you, Stacey. Because that's the second time you didn't had to give Ty the cues of what a lady does. Thank you.
So since
I mean, third if we're counting. I'm not being petty, but I mean it's the third time if we're actually counting. Because I mean the whole crisscross applesauce thing counts.
Y'all, the pinky ring is getting its debut because it was so many comments about that pinky ring that I had to blow that joint up and put it back on the screen.
So when you get a pinky ring, you get like it to coordinate with whatever bracelet you're wearing that day. Is that how it works?
Yeah. I don't know. He got the matching bracelet though.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Okay, Tony.
It's like a little version.
Shout out to buy
like
one, get one
little
free.
version.
Oh my God, I can't. This is too funny. All right, I try to I be looking and listening in the chat. I be looking and listening. So now, all right.
I love it.
Enough with the. What did you say?
Not that I love the chat.
Not it came with the suit though.
Stop.
Get a free suit with the thing. Okay.
Oh my God, I can't. Oh my gosh. All right. Anybody else got anything to say about the pinky ring and the bracelet? All right, we're gonna move on. No, I'm just
let me say something.
Yeah.
Let me say, Corvea really missed out. I don't think she saw Tony with that ring and bracelet. She missed out.
She's winning at this point.
Oh my gosh, it was sterling silver. I don't know what I'm talking
you ain't, it was some ice on there. You ain't see those chunks?
I blew it up. I didn't see
the ice.
It was sterling silver. My ex, when I was 25, he had a set like that. It was just sterling silver.
Are you saying Tony's in the Millionaires Club?
Oh no.
That would be the minimum, right? That would be the standard.
It's a nice set. It was a nice set. Y'all are joning.
Yeah, I'm getting on J. Getting on J Dub.
How can you hold my hand with that big old ring on your finger? Like it'll be like hurting your little hand. I don't like that.
No, it definitely wasn't platinum. It definitely wasn't. You could tell by looking at it. Platinum and silver is two different. I'm not trying to be funny though.
Yo,
you know what? It might be platinum. Who am I? I am not the jeweler. So
the only thing he was missing was one of those hats with the little feather in it. That's all he was missing.
Look, J Dub said cash me right
now.
I'm fooling with J Dub. I'm not fooling with J Dub.
Who said in the 2000s?
I'm slowly realizing J Dub been getting at me in the comments. Okay.
Oh, what I said? I was hacked.
Okay.
I was hacked.
I only live in Houston. I'm not from here.
Oh my God, I can't.
Oh, you talking about Ty? Talking about I was reaching when I said he was reaching. Because you asked the question. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I just put it in the chat. I could
I
be
ain't
reaching.
seen her
You
clap.
are.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Ellen V said, "Log off, J-Dub."
He
All right.
delirious.
Come back, J-Dub. We need you.
Wait, what is that? Is that a bird? That's like,
Is
was
that
that
a
an
plane?
owl on your scarecrow? Go back. What is that? Is that a bird?
Is it
It's
a jacket?
It's a plane.
Plane.
Superman.
Why do it look like a plane? It looked like what?
Is it like a jacket hanging on the thing in the picture, J-Dub, in your picture?
Oh, in the picture.
Look,
Give me a
Bird, it's a
second.
plane.
Give me 1 second.
it looked like a pigeon. Yeah, pigeon in his
Superman.
arm.
It's an eagle.
An owl.
Shout out to Tony. We love Tony. Okay. Shout out to Tony. Stacy B is from Houston. Kenya from Cali.
No, I'm not. I just live here. I've been here for like 8 years.
Oh, really? I thought you were from there. Oh, shoot. I'm tripping. I know you not.
Oh, she's from Arkansas.
I'm not from Arkansas.
So y'all
Paul,
was
I know
asking
you
me-
noticed.
Y'all was asking me what's in the
No,
picture.
you're from Louisiana, right? Yeah, I was about to say because we talk about we're both Creole. Yeah. All right. Oh shoot, there it goes. Stacy B. Look at J-Dub.
He said, "What's in the picture? Is it a bird?"
Nah.
It's well, I'm gonna help you, Stacy. It's a
Knight.
guard. I have
It's a
knight. There you
knight.
go. It's a knight. He
In
guards.
non-shining armor.
Yeah, it's. I have 2 of them. They guard the entrance to my steps in the foyer. So just to let you know, the house is protected.
That's the stuff that his ring and bracelet was made out of. It looked like.
Exactly. I got it. Yeah, same place Tony got it. Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
joking,
I
Tony.
don't wear it. Aluminum, right? It's aluminum.
Wow.
Really? Iced out aluminum, though?
Wow. I will say production hooked Tony up. They gave him a different color scheme. They gave him multiple effects. They gave him some bling. They gave him some sound effects. They gave him a little glow for his white jacket. And I haven't seen that for anyone else's walk up. It's just a regular walk up.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see.
Yeah. I like Tony. I think
that's the thing. That's what they're telling you. They're telling you, hey, this is the brother that we want to show you as the shining armor.
Yeah.
Only to, later on mutilate him on camera.
I like Tony. I like Blake too.
I like Blake and I like Tony.
Yeah.
I like DeMario till he started talking slick.
Oh yeah, DeMario lost me when he was like, "What was your kid?" I mean, don't get it twisted. He right, I get it, because Sadorable would have roasted my butt. She would have been like, "Ma, why you kissing something?" She would have went off on me. But for him to say it, like on national TV, like you said it, and it was recorded, and they showed it. Like, what would your kids say about you, kid? What? I mean, like, I get it. I don't want Sadora to see me kissing nobody, but like,
he was trying to shame her.
Yeah, you gotta do
right.
better.
He was trying to shame her and he tried to degrade her.
Right. That's what I had a problem with. But anyway, we're gonna move on. We're not gonna go backwards because
you making my blood pressure go up. Lord.
Y'all like Cynthia. Y'all like everybody.
Almost defended DeMario, but I'm gonna stop.
Defend him and
You
say,
mad
how
you
you
don't
gonna
like
defend
No,
him?
I didn't mean it that way. I think, I think he was trying to. You know what? I ain't even gonna say it.
Say it.
Cheers.
Me either. I ain't gonna say it either. Stacey B is great.
What you have? What you gotta say?
Damn. I was gonna say, I think by mentioning the kids and what they would think, I think he was trying to get her to understand the brevity of it from his perspective. like it was a big deal to him, and he couldn't quite get that through her head. So he was saying, what would your kids think? That's the only thing I could come up with.
You can't come
But
up
how
with
could
that
it be a
because
big deal? How could it be a big deal if there was those three those three
I know.
commandments? Yeah.
I know.
Ty, why do you
say
have to
nothing.
come up?
I wasn't gonna
Why
say
you have to
nothing.
come up
But
with something?
Sabrina,
You don't have to come up with anything. You defending that man. We living in a time
didn't
where
want to
now we
say
gotta give
anything.
everybody the benefit of the doubt when people are showing you who they are. But let's move on.
And
Like
Ty,
Theo said.
this is the first time I ever seen you not making sense.
I literally said I wasn't even gonna say that, but Sabrina asked me to say what I was gonna say. So I
You should
said
have made
it.
up
That's
something
it.
I
real
appreciate
quick.
it.
Well,
Just leave it to
I'll
me.
take the heat. I'll take the heat. I'll take the heat.
Tyrone, listen, man, you got to let me do that stuff.
Okay, you're
I'm
right,
the only
Paul.
one that
You're right. I'll text you. I'll text you. I'll text you, Paul. I'll text
there
you
you
on
go.
the back end.
Right.
Yeah, next time send it to Paul because I don't like hearing that kind of stuff from you. I hold you in the highest regard.
Okay.
Now Ty getting roasted.
Ty, show your other hand so we can see if you got a pinky ring on.
Look, Brenna Rome said, Ty, you off today, Pooh. She said, take the
whole little tink tink.
Tyrone is right. The brother could have, had a. Well, I'm not going to even say that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
But the Mario brother, I rocks with you, man. It's just that one bad thing, man, that you did. That don't define who you are as a person, but that does define your fate on the show.
Right. Okay. So Kenya from Cali, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, at Ty, say what now? She wants to know what the heck are you saying?
He don't know what
I wasn't defending him. I was just trying to explain. You know what? I'm gonna just stop.
Yeah, brother. Let me take all the heat for that, man. You already know how we do. Just let me do it. I got this.
I don't even
We're gonna
know
move.
you.
Would you say really B?
No, that was Stacey.
I didn't.
I said, I don't even know.
Oh,
I just had to reset and sing. All right.
Come back to us, Ty. Come back to us.
He's back. He's back. All right. So Jonique and Blake go on a one-on-one date. Jonique asked, how is the journey for you so far? She asked Blake that. He says that he would give, since you asked me a general question, I'm going to give you a general answer. And I thought that was so, I can't even think of a word for it, but I just was like, why he ain't just answer the question? But I don't know. So he says that, it's positive and there's still ways to go. Jonique asks, so what do you do for a living? And he does talk about his background and his job and his military. I wasn't going to type all that. So you guys watch the show. He did go into the background and what he does. So Blake does ask Jonique, so what do you like to do on your free time? She says, well, I like to spend time with my friends, with my family. We like to drink, you know what I'm saying? We like to turn up and have a good time at the house. Blake says that she is a nice young lady, but the life gap experience is just too large for him. Jonique says that Blake was really, really standoffish and he gave her a weird vibe. And they pretty much ended the date. So, Jonique and Blake. It's
Let me get mine
J-Dub.
out the way. Let me get mine out the way before Ty start going
you
about
here.
his military background and profession and all that kind of stuff and why he said what. All right, quick. Again, another example of
I triggered
why Blake is what I've been saying all along. Like I just said, he doesn't belong on this show. He's not intentional. He doesn't want to get along. He doesn't take the feedback that the ladies give him. He's given the same thing: standoffish, combative, rude, pompous, arrogant, all of that. Jonice was like a dentist. She was trying to pull teeth at the Blake wasn't given anything on this date. And I mean, okay, I get it. I'm with Blake. If a woman I'm looking to be ready to love, I don't want to hear that you at the house turning up, drinking all weekend, avoid a DUI. I get that. That's somebody that's to me is in their 20s doing that. So I get that part. But the way he treated her, it was like off. You know, it was like cold. It was like you're in a process. If your match is not here, just self-eliminate. Because I mean, you're just taking up space. I'm done.
All right, real quick. I want to give a shout out to POJ, PO on the panel. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Yeah, no,
a compliment.
no doubt about it.
He always delivers.
A compliment.
He always
Yes.
trying to steal attention.
But you know what? He
Nah.
paid $1.99 for me to give it to him. So everybody,
Hey,
PO would like everyone to know that Blake, he's the real like PO. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay. He
no
paid for
doubt,
this
no doubt
moment. He
about
gonna
it.
get it.
Okay,
All right.
okay. So I'll say this. So check it out. When I saw this moment, I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense at all, right? It doesn't. But this is another one of these moments that production threw together, understanding that there was zero chemistry. They had no, they weren't even on the same field, right? And Blake, instead of sitting there saying, try to make it like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try something with this. He was like, yo, I'm not interested. I'm not even gonna give you the vibe. I'm not going to even make you feel like I could be interested. And in this process, you have to respect that. You got to respect that. They put him with somebody he wasn't feeling, and he just was there for the camera roll. And unfortunately, they could have used that good date for him and Sue Ann. He didn't want that.
So Blake, at his big grown age, acts like a little toddler and is rude and gives somebody negative energy that she did not deserve. So you waste this one, like, if at all anything else. Y'all know we've all been on dates with people we weren't interested in on this show. We've probably been on more dates with the people we weren't feeling connections with than those that we actually were. Let's keep it a buck. But in no way did he had a right to be rude and disrespectful to her. You can actually try to get to know somebody, and all of this shit that everybody's saying about you, you can help bring some sincerity to yourself in this moment. Because guess what they're going to do? Go back and talk about it? Because guess what? This would have been somebody in the ladies' lounge saying, well, you know what? I actually had a really good date with Blake. We got to know each other, and now I can understand him a little better. But guess what? He missed out on his opportunity. His days are number 2.
May I ask you a question, Stacey?
I'm not. You can't deliver any questions to me today.
No, I just want to ask you one question.
I'm not accepting questions.
Because I listened to what you said. I'm just asking for clarification. What is it that he did that was wrong or disrespectful or rude or arrogant or ignorant? What did he do?
He didn't answer anything. He wasn't participating in the conversation. I mean, I'm not saying, hey, I know there are some people out there, right, who like, if I ain't feel like, it's hard for me to have a poker face sometimes, because sometimes my face be like, you know, when people talking crazy to me, and I'm like, it's hard for me too. However, there's an adult line here. There is a mature line here. And he did not have to send all that energy you acting like wasn't delivered. It was delivered. That was rude as hell. And that lady didn't deserve that. She's trying to get to know him, and he ignorant. I don't have no questions. She asking me these superficial questions when he was robotic, asking robotic ass questions a few episodes ago.
They were both doing the same. It was the same energy between both of them.
She was actually asking, inquiring, trying to get information out of him. It was like, who said it? Sabrina, you said it. Like she was a dentist trying to pull teeth. Paul, ain't no circle you can spin right here to make it make sense. Because, you know, this was a wasted scene, wasted time. He wasted that young lady's time, and he seemed rude, dismissive, arrogant, pompous, just an all-out asshole. Now spin that shit in a circle and deliver that.
He did not do
like
that. No, he did. Okay, so he did not.
Well, then we were watching two different shows.
Production wasted their time because production said, "Hey, we want this odd chemistry, and we want to capture this moment on tape." They probably asked him a while ago, "Would you be interested in this person?" He probably said no. They probably said the same thing to her, and they said, "You know what? Let's just put them together so we can get that moment." And that's what they did. They knew exactly what they were doing.
And he knew what he was doing too. Wasting all our time this week.
Shout out to Jay. Jay is feeling exactly how Stacey is feeling. She says that Blake was just a rude jerk. Okay, just rude. Okay, it is nothing wrong with being a gentleman. Okay, shout out to Jay. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you and your comments, honey. Yes. So, you are APO?
I want to get in there. I want to get in there.
Okay, J-Dub, come on in.
Stacey B said she liked Blake before. So, you know, I hear you. Everything you're saying is correct. But you did say you like the guy. He's been that same guy.
Just because I might like somebody, I might think they're handsome, I might like their energy, does not mean I'm a damn fool and I'm gonna lie to myself or to y'all and not call out ignorant behavior when I see it.
I got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you kind of think about Blake's like history, like it all started with, what did he say to Morgan? He said a woman. Remember at the mixer, he said something about kids without a father is some. I can't remember what he said, but I know I was really offended.
Broken.
Yeah, that they're broken. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, that kind of, and he has kind of done things and said things like, of course, like, do I like Blake? Yeah, I do. I feel like he is misunderstood, but I feel like he be setting himself up for failure, and he has literally digged himself a huge hole, and he kind of just threw himself down in there. Yeah, I feel like he is misunderstood, and I feel like it is something about him, like his personality. Like I feel like he is just not for everyone. To be honest with you, I'm gonna keep it 100. I feel like if I met him, like even on the show, if I met him, I would be like, You different, because I like different people. I like to talk to different people. I'm like, okay, it's something about you. And because it's something about him, I would be so intrigued to like find out more. Like, he's acting like an asshole, but is he really an asshole? You know what I mean? Like, I need to know. You know what I mean? So that's just where I'm at with Blake. That's why it's kind of like I'm literally, and I can't even believe I'm saying it, but at episode 5, I feel like I still need to see more. I feel like he does have a dismissive attitude. I do feel like he can be a little arrogant at times. I do feel like, but then I feel like P.O. say, but what did he really do? And what did he really say? And like, how can I feel this way because of his views and how he thinks and how he responds? And because it's not how I would respond and how I think and how what I would say, like, does that give me the, reason to just be like, he's this, he's that? No, I want to know more. That's where I am with Blake. So like, do I agree with everything he's done? Absolutely not. But I don't want to dismiss him. I want to know more about him, and honestly too, he's growing on me. I feel like with every episode, he getting more and more handsome. Like, I just, okay, cool. I'm sorry guys, because I try to interject.
Careful, J-Dub's gonna use that against you in a future episode.
Oh, sugar.
I'm in shock. I'm in shock. I'm just in shock. I'm in shock at this point. So we gotta stick our hand in the fire to see if it's hot. Yeah, the man.
I'm not getting the analogy right now.
I mean, the man. It's already understood that he is combative with the ladies. They all agree, all on the same page. I've seen it. His attitude is stank, and the fact that he says like, "Hey, okay, I'm combative. I'm controlling, but you know what? I ain't changing nothing. Actually, I'm gonna turn it up." But again, everybody loves differently. Everybody receives things differently. So if you're good with somebody saying, maybe that negative trait that you're displaying, you might want to kind of tone it down. No, I'm going to increase it. So again, everybody's different. So if y'all like it, I love it. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I have one question.
I don't like it.
I just have one quick question.
I don't know what.
No, I just want to say something. This is a kind of an open-ended question, and that is this: why do you think this last episode they only pretty much showed all Blake? Nobody else.
They want to show his rock bottom so we could see his rise.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. It's on the way.
So
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to describe the date, but go ahead, Stacey.
I said, and when he's rising, J-Dub, remember what I said again.
Yeah, I mean, you the same lady. You just destroyed Blake, but you still like him. You still like him. I mean, you still got to go towards the flame. He's pompous. He's abusive to women. He's got 3 different baby mamas.
How is he abusive?
Give him a try.
I like his smile.
I'm being melodramatic
though.
I'm still
his hair
give it a try though.
Yeah, it looks like he uses Shea Moisture.
He doesn't have a personality.
Products. Love it.
Yeah. I mean you gotta sometimes you gotta let the women just have at it, because this ain't nothing new. The man showed you who he is, and if you still coming forward, I mean, and I'm gonna just put it down like this. That's why. That's one of the many reasons why men have the run of a lot of women. And I'm just saying, it ain't a dig. It's a serious thing. Women, you got the answers. You still gonna ignore it. Oh, I gotta see more. He's okay. He's just misunderstood. No. He's a military police. No,
I got you really beat.
No. He grew up with a single mom. You gotta make some allowances for him, but still coming forward. You're gonna get what you're gonna get every time. But it's an old saying. I'm gonna close with this. Only you know when you've had enough. I'm leaving it right there.
All right, really be, because y'all know it's a lag. So we're gonna let her speak.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna jump off after this because I'm really having a hard time over here. But as much as this pains me to say, I'm gonna have to agree with J Dub on this. I'm not understanding what y'all not seeing. Sabrina, I love you, baby. What more do you need to see from him? This man is showing you at every turn who he is and what he is. And listen, there's somebody for everybody. So that's cool, but it's just I don't know what more we need to see. I'm so confused what we not seeing that Blake is giving. I don't know. I'm just confused.
Hold up, but let me get in there. Really,
I don't
B, am
know.
I such an unreasonable person that you can't agree with me? I'm pretty reasonable. Yeah, I might, I may
Usually,
have a
yeah.
little go to a beat
Usually,
of my own drum.
usually you are.
I don't think so. I might be like a little hard on people. I might be a tough critic, but normally I'm coming of a place with some reasoning, and it does sound different because I don't like the pattern of this world these days. It's like we forgot about some of the wonderful things that we should have taken with us and put in this society. It's like most of it's gone now. I'm gonna stop right there. Y'all go ahead.
I feel like he reverted back to the old Blake. Like this day was bad. I was on him early because I feel like the dates that he had with Z, he just wasn't given anything. And I played that date with just the vocals, and it sounds really, really bad. It's a lot of dead airspace. And this happened to be very, very similar. It was like y'all ever see that button? I mean the date with Joe Button and Migos. I feel like we got an echo. He just walks off.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
what it felt like. It felt like he tried, but he ran out of energy. And it seems like the more that she talked, the more that he felt like he was above her.
somebody
And
has
he
an
just
echo. Sorry, guys.
couldn't
So
seem to carry on with the conversation. It was just bad. Like I feel like the things that we're asking him to do, the reason why I can relate is because I should have done the same thing. You could still go on a date with a person, not be interested, not be trying to smash, and still, be a human that's on a date with someone. And he just can't seem to do that. Now, when we were asking
I
about the
get
things
you.
that we were looking for from him, we were looking to see what he would be like with someone that he actually likes. But y'all call that, or we call that, controlling. So, you know, it's
So
just all around bad for
Tyrone.
him.
Do we?
So let me ask you a question, Tyrone. What do you think it is about Suan that he's gets into this place where he can sort of open up and
I,
have some dialect and some progressive conversation.
I feel like Suwan is probably the only person that comes close to his what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say something like mental makeup. Suwan is the closest one to his mental makeup. With her being a lawyer, with her being, having the ability to investigate, see things really, really quickly. You
Mhm.
know, I feel like that's what that is.
Hmm.
So I mean that makes sense. I feel like he's an accomplished man. He's done some things in his life, and I don't think that he wants to entertain somebody that doesn't match his energy in terms of accomplishments, and in terms of kind of like his strategy going forward in maybe his next 5 or 6 years in life. And I get that.
They don't like each other. They're both using each other.
Right. But you don't have
Period.
to you don't have to use the journey to, like, every date doesn't have to be to find your wife, right? You can still
Right.
use the date to show that you're a great person and get
That's true.
yourself some TV time.
Yeah, but
Now
still, Suan trying to.
I know. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, oh, hold on, let me bring Stacey. At the end of the day, like, I don't know. I just feel like I feel like he don't know that she know, and she don't know that he know. But they using each other. They trying to stay in the game. He like, I'm gonna get her this bracelet. She like, and I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like that they just really both using each other. I think Blake, you know, I just feel like Blake is like he corny in a way. I feel like you said, Tyrone, like he don't really know how to date. Like he don't really like I mean, he's handsome, you know, he tall, whatever, he got a great career, whatever. I feel like he get women, but I feel like on this level, like on national TV, he probably ain't never used to this. He probably ain't never been. When he watched this back, he probably at home every episode like this, like, oh my God, they got me out here looking crazy. Like I just don't think he knows. I think with this life, he's just sheltered. And that's why I'm so intrigued and interested in seeing what else, because I saw somebody in the comments, they was like, oh my God, Sabrina, red flags. She's gonna end up with somebody toxic. I'm like, do you know who you talking to? Like, do you know who I am? Trust me, I do not ignore red flags. Like, I want to see more from him from the show. Would I ever date somebody like Blake from what I've seen on the show? Hell no. Hell no, I would never date nobody like Blake. Hell to the no. Oh, no. No. Me and Blake, we would be fighting. I had to go on him like every day. Like, who are you talking to? Like, what? Like, can you turn your personality on real quick? Because I need to know what we're doing here. Okay, you know, because I'm very animated. He and we are too different in a lot of the things he says and does. They are red flags, but it doesn't stop me from wanting to see more from him from the show. So no, we as women, we see the red flags. They're all in the comments saying it, but no, yeah, and he is toxic. He's horrible. But it doesn't mean I don't want to see more. What were you about to say, Stacey?
Well, I mean, if I can just have a moment to come over to the side of PO.
Hold on real quick. JP Reddy, you said I picked Walter. You said I picked Walter. You need to go back and watch my season again, because I think Walter picked me. Okay. I picked that little girl in the back. Okay, I picked her and myself. Hold on, come on now, go watch DC. Stop. I'm sorry, Stacey. Go ahead.
It's okay, because that interruption probably stopped me from making a big dumb mistake.
No, what was you about to say?
Say it.
Okay.
Say it.
Say it again. Say it again.
Say it.
He wants Blake.
You sure you don't want to text it to Paul? You want to text it to Paul?
Say it with conviction.
He'll say it. Paul will say anything. He's like Mikey on the mic.
So what this is all I'm gonna say, and in no way, don't take it any other kind of way, but how I say this. So I understand to a certain degree what Paul is saying. So I don't want what I'm about to explain to be, as if it's absent from my from how I'm seeing things. So we know that certain personalities and certain things on screen can look a certain way. For example, I'll give a personal example from me. So do y'all remember on my season when David walked into Pilates and I was like, oh, you late? And everybody on the internet, like everybody in the world was like, she mad because he late. She giving him bad energy because he late. One, I had no chemistry with him and he had his raw feet out. Let's start there. He had no socks on with sneakers. That wasn't track shoes. Let's start there. Anyway, however, I was the one that was actually late. So I was like saying a little, like, people who came to know me, all of y'all out there who've come to know me, y'all know I joke, like I just be playing most of the time. But how it was cut made it appear as though my like our body language and us not just like connecting was attributed to me being salty because he was late, when in actuality I was the one that was late. So
Right.
to go with what Paul and to a certain degree what Sabrina was kind of hinting at, like what you want when you want to see some people develop more, like you're like, well, you know, I know what my experience was, so it might be something deeper there that I don't know how the hell I'm missing it, but I'm just go out there on a limb and say, give me one more episode just to put the nail in the coffin of whether I'm right or wrong. Cool, but I do understand what you're saying, P.O., and I did not want to dismiss your thoughts and feelings.
Right. And so just so that, just let me tack onto that really quick. When I was on the date with them and I was playing ping pong and I smashed the thing, that was like me showing them. I was like, hey, y'all, now look, you can hit it back to me and watch what I do. And I smashed it. And they used that to make it seem like I was super aggressive when I was playing ping pong. Meanwhile, you know, it wasn't even like that. So yeah, those types of things, they just throw it in there wherever it makes sense for them to tell the narrative.
Okay, well, we got some space. The end. Let me get in there. Well, Stacey B, not all of us saw it that way. I remember the scene, but what I remember most about the scene is that you were bent over and David came in the door, and some of us thought like, whoa, was she trying to like, you know, entice him or something like that? But however, I didn't see it as like you having a bad attitude or not. I guess in dealing with that, because David was one of those guys, those villain types of guys, and I believe he earned it. I saw it from the beginning, just like I
I
saw it
was
with
right
Blake.
from the beginning myself. I was with you. I was right from the beginning. I've been right from the beginning about all the guys all the time. Just
But
like you, J-Dub.
the difference is you would still date him. That's all. You know, you
I
still
would,
gonna go forward with it. You're still gonna go forward with him. You like with Blake, you would still date
He's too
Blake. You
short
said
for
it.
me.
You said
He
heard you.
looks
I heard you.
I'm
I
not sure
heard
if
you.
he's tall or not, but I just like
You're
I like,
moonwalking.
you know.
Going backwards. You backed up. You said it. He said it, but all right.
I feel like, so did I not explicitly state or not that I would go on a date with him? Because those words never came out of my mouth.
I'm pleading the fifth. Let's move on.
So, Tyrone, you got anything?
Hell no. I'm gonna just sip.
P.O., you have any other comments before we move forward?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good to go.
Stacey, would you like to conclude? Okay.
No,
all right.
Remember I was moonwalking.
J-Dub, you got a comment?
He does get a lot of airtime.
I'm like Blake. Let's just move on. It's not worth addressing. It's just not worth it.
Oh
Stacey said
you all are gonna really like Blake at the end of the show, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
And guess what? He will make it all the way to the end, even though he's not looking for love. We're gonna see him.
I mean, it makes everything confusing because, you know, he does get a lot of airplay. Only one of the women are feeling him, but yet he's still here. Like, we don't even know Sue-Ann's other connections. So how is she even still there? And then it makes it confusing. Like, do you have one connection, or do you have multiple connections? We don't know
multiple.
We don't know what formula works for the show, except to be patient and be lucky.
I feel like he's like P.O. because I was like by episode 2, 3, I was like, yeah, he about to be eliminated. P.O. made it all the way to the end. I feel like Blake in real life is kind of like P.O. because at first I was like, what's going on with P.O.'s personality? Like I couldn't get with P.O. Like, I didn't understand PO. PO was so confusing to me. I was just like, ugh. But I was intrigued. I want to see more. But I was like, it don't matter. I don't really need to see more because he about to be eliminated. Like, that's how it was. And that's how it is with Blake. It's crazy, but it's for me, it's kind of like the same thing. So that's why,
same format, no doubt.
But eventually we gave up on PO. And I'm just wondering what episode is we gonna give up on Blake?
Yeah, I think Blake got one more episode left than me.
I have not given up on you. Don't listen to that.
What I meant by that was, what I meant by that was I waited all those episodes for PO to express who he liked and who he was feeling.
He ain't
and
like nobody.
Feels like we never got it. The same thing we're asking Blake to do.
Because she ain't here.
So, that could be true because you got to understand too. He's probably like, this is the way I'm summing it up. They're going to end up getting to a place where they're going to say, okay, Sue Ann is not being open with the guys because she's all wrapped up in the Blake. And they're going to cut her. And Blake is going to just be there. And then they're going to probably try to stitch him with somebody else or whatever.
Okay. I know where this is going.
You know where it's going.
Go. But you chose to still try to make it work. You still entertained it. You still entertained it.
Who, me?
Yes.
You went along with it.
No, I was on an actual live date with the Kia and eliminated on camera. And then they was like, nah, get back in here. Get back in here.
Well, can I ask you this? Like, okay, since we're talking about, you got a lot to say about people's chemistry on this season. But I mean, even though you walked away with her, it seemed like you and Dakia had zero.
I didn't walk away with
romantic chemistry.
No, I didn't walk away with her. I chose myself.
Yeah,
I'm saying, but at the end of it, you know, going into the last episode, y'all were seeming like couple-ish. And I didn't see the chemistry through the screen. It didn't translate to me.
I understand. And so, but we both had separate conversations with production. It was like, look, and my conversation was like, we not just going to pull this off, you know, just because it makes sense for the cameras. I'm like, because when I, like after the getaway house or whatever, that very next day, I talked to Clifton and I was like, yo, I shook his hand and said, yo, I hope you enjoy, do well, I'm out. And he said, you doing it today? Me and Clifton were sitting having oysters. And I'm like, me, Clifton, and Joy actually were having oysters. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to go do that right now. And I went to my date with the Kia, and Clifton went on a date with Joy. And you saw that side by side. And you never saw the ending of the date that I had. And you can go back and look. You never saw the ending of that date with me and the Kia because during that date, I said, hey, you know, are you okay, you know, if you leave here with nobody? And she's like, yeah, you know, I'll be fine. And pretty much I was like, okay, fine. Well, that being said, I'm out. I'm self-eliminating. I got up, took off my mic, went out, and the producers came out to my car and was like, yo, like, you curveballed us. Like, what is this all about? And then they was like, come on back in. We'll talk about it with production. And that brunch thing, that next day, when Carmen, quote unquote, dropped the bomb, I was expecting to be eliminated during that brunch. And then they turned that into a whole different thing. That was kind of the gist of what I got from production. Like, okay, well, you'll just get eliminated off. It has to make sense. We got to close it out. And I was okay with that. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't do that. And then they kept that same energy. And I'm like, wait, this wasn't what we talked about, but it made for good TV.
Is that who I think it is?
I was getting ready to say, hey, Anthony.
Is that who I think?
Oh, you missed your praise team, Anthony. You done missed praise hour.
I
You
was
late.
getting ready to say, because we was praising you up early about an hour and 43 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to watch the replay. Everybody give Anthony Martin a shout out. This is Anthony, the one that's actually on this season of Ready to Love. This is the Anthony that was sitting having dinner or lunch with Cynthia. So, hey, Anthony, thank you so much for coming.
What's up?
Supporting us. We appreciate you.
No doubt.
Sorry, guys. I just
aside from the watch, Anthony, nice bracelet. I caught that too. But go ahead.
J-Dub?
Sure, I'll take a stab at it. I wanted to go way back into the comments what people were saying. When you compare P.O. the Juggernaut to Blake, even though, because I'm on record of I was not a P.O. advocate at all. I was on my review saying, how are we still looking at P.O.? But deep down inside, just like what somebody said, because it was a while ago, you knew P.O. wasn't a bad person at the core. You could see that he was a decent brother. He might have said, let's say he might have said some corny lines. He might have said some off-putting, like the kid like to get thugged out after 9 p.m. and stuff like that. However, Blake is like empty inside. Blake has no empathy, no compassion, no personality, pompous, arrogant, combative. He's that. And Ty's, what did he actually do? He was himself. That was too much. It doesn't fit in this setting, and it's off-putting. You're supposed to come in this process open, ready, willing, able. That's not it. And to the core, I can't say that, oh no, he is a good person. No, we could say that about P.O. And P.O. did triumph in the end. I had to eat my words. And I was okay with that because I'm a man. I can take accountability and I respect P.O. But I knew he wasn't a bad person to the core. That's it.
Tyrone?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more. I mean, I think Blake's game is having no game, and that can work, when you're at the bar or at the club, but that ain't gonna work on TV when people are expecting you to be, somewhat social, and somewhat of a human with some feelings and a personality. So I think it's just not working out for him. It's not looking good for him. And I also play it with just the vocals, and it's cringe. His dates are really cringe.
Hold on. Who are you talking about, Blake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless y'all still want to talk about P.O.'s journey.
No. Y'all can watch the replay.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Season 6, 5, 6-ish.
Ty slides. We need some P.O. clips. We need to put a little collage together.
Yeah. But I just feel like with Blake, we're not going to get much of Blake because I feel like, honestly, he is not connected to this process. I mean, it's been a couple of times when I remember, I think one time when he was talking to Sue Ann, it was like he smiled at her and then he looked away and was like his facial expressions, everything. I really don't feel like his person is there. I don't feel like he's connected. I really don't feel like his woman is there. But he's going through the process because he's in the process. I remember I saw someone last episode, they were like, when he didn't get eliminated, they were like, or it might have been this one, they were like, he looks so disappointed that he did not get eliminated. He was just like, oh God, I gotta stick through this again, I feel like he's just sucking it up. He's giving us what else he got, but honestly, he ain't feeling it. And I feel like when he was on a date with Jonique, it was like, he ain't really feeling Jonique, and I feel like he wear his feelings on his shoulders. When he don't like something, we gonna know he don't like something. If he ain't feeling somebody, we gonna know he ain't feeling somebody. But then it's like I be seeing y'all be like, he was rude to her, he was dismissive. he wasn't feeling her. And I get it, because in real life, I'm like that. If I ain't feeling you, you gonna know it. If I'm feeling you, you gonna be like, this chick is getting on my nerve. Like, Sabrina, get away. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be on top of you, like, hey, boo, I miss you. Like, what you doing? I like you. You're gonna know I like you, but you gonna also know when I don't like you. You know, and I just feel like that's just how Blake is. Does he still have red flags? Absolutely. You know, but I don't think with the date with him and Jonique, he was like, yeah, I did the military. I did 52 years in the military. I was military police. I have 9 degrees. I've been to the moon and back. And he like, what do you like to do for free? She like, turn up.
Right.
You know,
like, all right, I'm out.
That is kind of how it sounded. But he didn't have to be rude still.
The same way Morgan left. Yeah, the same way Morgan left when Blake said he didn't want no kids. And we didn't call her rude.
Yeah.
I thought she was rude.
2 words for that date.
Okay, I got you, Stacey.
No, I was just saying. All right. Next thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm gonna say this because I don't think I was here when y'all discussed that episode, but I really wanted to be here, especially since Sharice is normally here. I just wanted to say, like, nobody gave her the backlash and bullshit that they gave to Sharice when she said something similar. And I did not appreciate that at all. Like, if we're going to be consistent, then be consistent. Like, I just, you know, like, come on now, girl. You don't like cabins, you don't like kids, you don't like nothing.
Yeah.
But I like her, though. But I like her, though. What somebody in the chat was like, Stacey, I like everybody B.
She sure do. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Find something positive about everybody. I will find something positive.
Yeah. I was about to say she don't like I feel like Stacey B and I were like the same. Like, we give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But if they do something cringe or they do something trifling or ignorant or they say something that ain't like, we gonna call them out, but it don't mean that we're like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, I'm gonna let them have it.
Let me interrupt. I can't confirm or deny, but I believe that's I like everybody Cynthia in the chat. The one we talked about.
Oh, is that her?
Well, guess what? She joined in right on time because I like everybody. Stacey is right here too, and y'all better not play with her. Because when I came up in here, what did I tell you? Thou shalt not. What? On Miss Cynthia. Thank you.
I think
girl,
Cynthia
I had you before you were here.
I think Cynthia missed that clip.
So yeah, she did. So shout out. So everybody, just to let you know, Cynthia St. Paul, that is Cynthia from Ready to Love Miami, the season that we're talking about right now. So everybody in the chat, my soulmates, it's 247 of you watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, but definitely show Cynthia love. And Anthony is in the chat too. So say hi to them, show them love, let them know that they are all welcome over here on this channel and we love them and support them.
Yes.
Hey, are y'all using the same computer right now?
Okay.
Words out my mouth.
With this math and this math.
Right.
What? I missed it.
I said, is Anthony and Cynthia using the same computer?
Y'all know I'm slow. Oh, so inquiring minds want to know.
If I would have known you were going to drop it. Right.
Are y'all sitting beside each other? Sorry, Stacey.
No, I was just gonna say some silly shit.
So say it.
If I knew she was gonna drop in, I wouldn't have volunteered my eggs to him. My last working eggs. Sorry, fam.
Oh my gosh.
Look, Anthony.
Anthony says you have amazing discernment.
I have other amazing qualities about myself as well.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and list those?
She said no disrespect, but I would give him my eggs. No disrespect, though.
Oh my God.
I rescinded my eggs. I'm gonna put them back in here.
I was ready to say, get all those comments out before the reunion. I mean, before the last episode, because you can't be held accountable until the last episode.
Oh man.
Be like, I liked him before he chose you, though. Okay.
Facts.
Oh my God. Oh God.
It's hilarious.
All right. So real quick.
By the way, oh, never mind.
No, go ahead, Pio.
Now, I was just going to say, did you guys' contract expire yet? Or is it still?
You know, my contract expired already, so I'm free.
Mine did too.
And since we're talking about
I'm still waiting
free,
on mine.
Since we're talking about free, and clearly there's some cast from this season, I just want the men to appreciate how free SabrinaSeoul and Stacey B's face is, because we don't wear heavy makeup, since that was a complaint in this episode as well.
Thank you.
I never wear makeup, so.
You are silly. I don't have no makeup on right now. I woke up like that.
I'm like, over here freeing.
I don't have on much. I have like on bronzer and some lip gloss. So I don't really.
I'm over here.
Because if I don't put any bronzer on,
it.
Yeah.
I just have some Vaseline. I have some Vaseline on my lips.
I look like I just woke up. So the bronzer just kind of brightens up my skin a little bit, but in the lip gloss, so my lips don't look ashy. But you know. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So the thing is that it's towards the end. And of course, the women do meet Tommy at the ladies' lounge to discuss their top connections, who they are feeling, and who they are not connecting with. Demario does meet with Jonique, and Blake does meet with Cynthia. At the very end, Demario is the one to be eliminated. So this is Blake's, fifth time being on the bottom? Because he was been on the bottom like every
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blake,
I wonder why.
Blake against the world. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. I don't know. So let us know in the comments too. Do you feel like it should have been Demario gone, or do you guys feel like Blake should have went home? So what are your thoughts, panelists? Like, do you feel like they made the right decision?
No.
I think they did. I think they did.
Yes.
They had to do that.
Yeah. Would be lost if he was still on the show.
I needed to see a double elimination.
You always be trying to see double elimination.
We would get a quadruple elimination if it was up to J-Dub.
Facts.
I didn't want anyone to go. This was that one episode where I would have loved to have seen how Demario was going to navigate through this with Corvea being gone and him and Jeffrey not having a connection. Like, I would have really loved to have seen like what he was going to do next. It would have been interesting to me. And of course, I definitely don't want to see Blake to go, because I just feel like he got a lot of drama surrounding him right now, and he's exciting to watch. And I want to see what's going to happen with Blake too. So this would have been the thing where I would have wanted to keep both, J-Dub.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Keep both. I mean, somebody got to go. I mean, these people on the bottom for a reason.
You said exciting.
You know, my life is boring these days. I live a very normal life. The only excitement I get is when I watch this on Fridays.
So if you think about it though, both of Demario's connections were dissolved. The one with Corvea, obviously Corvea was gone, so that wasn't there anymore. But then you had that extra one where Jeffrey was there, and then what ended up happening was they had that spat. So now what? Like, it seemed like the way that he left out of there with the three, red flags. It was irreparable at that point. So what was next? Where was he going to? It just would have been like kind of like, okay, well, let me just see what I could, kind of figure out here. And at that point, at this part in the process, at this, like right now, it's too late. It's too late. Folks are already really honing in on or keying in on who they rocking with. You saw it with Blake, you saw it with Tony, you saw it with Lyndon. So you're starting to see these connections start to forge. There's a couple of people that's up in the air, but for the most part, I feel like this connection wasn't there.
Yeah. Tyrone?
Nah, I mean, I really don't have nothing else to say, really.
Yeah. Stacey B?
I mean, what is there really to say? He wanted to have a temper tantrum, so temper tantrum yourself on home. Goodbye.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more from Demario in terms of just like that, the high road on the way out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no need
Well,
to.
I wanted.
Okay.
No, you can finish.
I was gonna say, like, the one thing that I hate is when people still carry on with the show, knowing that they don't have no connections, and then they're trying to navigate what they're gonna do. Like his switch was quick as hell. Like Curveyor was gone, and now he's immediately feeling emotional about what Jeffrey's doing. Like,
right.
It makes sense, but it don't make sense, but it do make sense.
So what I was gonna say was like I would have liked it to be a non-elimination, maybe. So
And then what I saw was
nobody fought for him.
I'm joking, Stacey.
In the ladies' lounge.
Mm.
No, nobody fought. Nobody. We didn't see nobody trying to use the whatever card it is, the get out of jail card or whatever. We didn't see that being proposed in the ladies' lounge when Demario was up for elimination. So that says something in itself.
All right, well, let me jump in there when I can.
Yes.
I want to go back to a question. Excuse me, Ty. Excuse me. Don't do that. Ty. Thank
No, I had cut off Stacey, and she still, my bad.
I know.
I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead, J-Dub.
Thank you. Simplistic Grace asked a good question because we're beyond this, but I think it needs to be addressed even just for a minute. It says, are we going to talk about Mark Anthony and this no kids thing, which I thought was very interesting.
That was last episode, I thought.
No,
right?
we didn't. It was a big point this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
in the ladies' lounge, because Cynthia says it. She's like, yeah, because I can't do Mark Anthony. She said because he don't want no kids, or he no.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Close. You're close.
Well, I mean, it's tied into a whole bunch of things. Even when Sue the Advocate mentioned like at the table, like haphazardly, and just said, "Oh well, Mark Anthony doesn't date women with children because he had a bad experience with dating a woman with children." Now, remember, Mark Anthony said, "I've never dated a woman with children." So, it's some things you can unpack there.
Yeah, because he did say that. He said he's never dated anybody with kids, but she said in the ladies' lounge that he's not interested. What did she say? He's not interested in dating anybody with kids.
Yeah.
Right. She was like, so I can't do that because she got kids. Cynthia got kids.
But that's not what he told Jeffrey.
Right.
And Sue the Advocate said that he had dated a woman with kids. In his confession, he said he's never dated.
Exactly.
Right. So then who's playing games for real then?
Sorry, guys.
Mark Anthony.
Yeah,
we
he's
knew.
saying things to fit the woman. Whatever woman he's talking to, He's saying what they want to hear.
Yeah, he said it during the
Yeah,
argument on the boat when he said you could be messing with a shorty later.
I'm just saying, don't be discounting all the mamas with kids, because
Who discounted the mom with the kid?
I'm just telling.
Nobody.
I'm not saying any of y'all. I was just making a generic statement to
I like
guys who may. Y'all know that PJ Morton remake song, "How Deep Is Your Love"? That is my song, and I love it. It is my jam.
How deep is your love?
No. And you know why they sing that song that you was just singing?
That's PJ.
You know why they sing that
So
song?
I want to.
Oh my God.
Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to. That one.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's that? New Kids on the Block?
Oh my gosh, get off my phone.
Who sing the song?
No,
I can't remember.
PJ Morton remade it.
PJ Morton remix.
He remade it.
Oh, I'm gonna have to hear it again.
He did it. So his version with Yeba is so nice. It's lovely.
Thank you, Ray Day. All right, guys.
And it's the Gumbo unplugged version, so it probably resonates with Stacey.
It is on Gumbo.
I gotta hear it.
My Gumbo's good too. Y'all better know. And I can cook really well. I might be a little person over here, but guess what? You gonna eat.
Come on, man. I need receipts. I need receipts, recipes, cookbooks, something. Show me something. I ain't seen you post no pictures of your food.
I always do. You can ask somebody to ask somebody. Somebody will tell you out here in these streets, baby.
So Cynthia, in response to what we were just talking about, Cynthia, y'all know that Cynthia St. Paul, that's in the chat. She is the Cynthia that's on the show that we're watching right now. Her comment to what we were just saying, she said, her kids are her prize. So she would not give anyone that feels that way a chance, but he is a great guy. Oh, someone said that's the Bee Gees. Yeah, I knew it was something. What I say, New Kids on the Block?
Yeah.
Y'all knew what I meant.
And then PJ Morton remade it on Gumbo.
We got daggone Shazam in the chat.
Who is Shazam?
Is it too late to ask Cynthia to explain that clip?
Shazam is the music.
2 hours ago, so she's here. But I don't know how to. We don't know how to turn the volume down.
No, we need the volume up. We can't take the picture off. Why don't you play it on your end, on your screen, but just let us hear it? Like on your computer, like not on this screen. And like play it in the background so we can hear it. Or we have to see it. Don't we have to see it?
You mean only the video or the audio?
See, that's the thing. It has to be one or the other. It can't be together. Like we can play the video and not the audio and ask her about that.
I can turn the audio down. There's no audio.
Exactly. So we have to put it back up there because you took it off. Cynthia, if you're in the chat, Tyrone has a question for you. He wants to play you something.
How about the shooter's shot? You know he don't have no problem with that.
Shout out to the panel shooting shots tonight. Hey.
So
Cynthia. The clip,
okay, go ahead, Tyrone.
Nope, you go ahead.
No. You go. It's yours.
So the clip was me. I was asking if I was reaching when I was talking about how women express themselves verbally, and then non-verbally. So I'm hoping I'm sharing the right thing. But in here, it's matter of fact, it's not this one. So what it is, it's the first date where they ask Cynthia, who do you like or who do you feel in or something like that. And then you immediately turn to Anthony and then your body language is towards Anthony the entire session. So we can't play the audio, but what I did was I caught the eye movement and then I played it again in slow motion and then again in slower and slower and slower. And then production is kind of messy because when you hear Cynthia explaining what she likes and what she don't like, you can hear her say something about it. She starts off with what she don't like is a cheater. And then it immediately cuts to Andre. And Andre's staring at her the entire time because he's interrogating, right? But then when she says cheater, they show him looking away for the very first time. And I'm like, all right, production is messy. But then they start talking about she don't like nobody that's out of shape. She don't like nobody that's not put together. And then like they cut to Blue and then they cut to Tony when she says that, which I think production is kind of messy. So Cynthia, if you're in here and you want to explain this,
please provide it. Yes.
But if not, it's cool. I understand if you want to plead the fifth. I get it.
But what is the question? Oh, she says she can't share, but you're close.
Okay.
Boom.
I just caught it. It was just a little split second that I caught. Thank you, Cynthia.
Yeah.
Man, forget those contracts, man. We know what it is. I told everything. I was out front. Forget them contracts. You can say whatever you want.
That's why all y'all got fired.
I didn't get fired.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hey, listen. I was the one. I was talking my talk every day. I didn't care.
Look, you still writing your diss track. When you gonna put the diss track out? I know you still working.
I know, and the book. We waiting on the book too. The book,
yeah,
the
I
diss
got
track,
the book.
all of it.
The book is already ready.
Oh,
the book is already ready.
All right, guys. Would you like to? Not would you, but I would like for you to conclude this episode. And give me your thoughts on how you felt about episode number 5. We're gonna start with Tyrone. It's J-Dub, P.O., and Stacy, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
I think it was good. I feel like the show is moving like a magic show, where they tell you what's going on, and then they bring you down, and then they try to like bring you up, and then it's the reveal. You know, I feel like that is coming. I feel like there's some things that we think we're seeing that we're not seeing, but production is talking to us. I feel like production has been talking to us for a few episodes now. I feel like the castmates have been giving away who they like and who they don't like for some time now. I feel like if there's someone that we're not seeing, there's a reason that we're not seeing them. And I'm trying to figure out what that reason is because I don't have any evidence. And it's been fun. Looking at the clips, it's been fun working on everything, doing the breakdowns, and I'm hoping for some connections. You know, I really am. So, you know, good luck to all y'all. You know, I'm rooting for all y'all.
J-Dub.
Okay. Well, I want to just point out that I've noticed that Ty and P.O. has switched perspectives this panel, and as P.O. said, nobody can deliver like P.O. on this. So Ty, go back to the way you were doing it. And also, I just saw a question from Danny M that I want to address. So, do you think DeMario messaged Jeffrey? Did you talk about the lounge and Sue and Jeffrey? Well, I want to just add to that. I definitely think that DeMario circled the block with Jeffrey because, I mean, to me, he was just playing the game strategically. Jeffrey pissed him off. He latched on to Corvea, and I guess he was just all about staying. To me, that was my opinion on that. And I don't think we touched on when Sue and Jeffrey kind of went back and forth, but we didn't really get into it. And as I said, people are like split in the YouTube world with that. Some people think that Jeffrey started the argument. Some people think that Sue-Ann started the argument. I definitely think Sue-Ann started the argument because Jeffrey was just telling how she felt about DeMario at the present time, and Sue-Ann just got in there. Not that it was a discussion. She interjected herself because Sue is the advocate. So, and one last thing. This episode to me showed me why a lot of these people are single. That's all I got to say.
I'm sorry, you said showed you what now, J-Dub?
Showed me why a lot of them are single. I see the flaws. Not that we're looking for perfection, but I saw the flaws.
Yeah.
And the flag.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to say this, and this is going to be a little bit against Blake. This whole episode. Yeah, I know, right? I know.
What you say, J-Dub? He's skateboarding. What is it? Skateboarding on my surfboard.
Backpedaling.
Come on, man. Everybody know I keep it a buck all the time. I keep it a buck. I'm just saying, I would have liked to have seen less of this of Blake this episode. I feel like it was oversaturated with Blake. I feel like there were other storylines that we could have learned about, or other connections, or some depth. We already understand that they want Blake to be on the bottom and he's rigid and awkward and arrogant and all of that. Okay, we get that. We don't need to keep seeing that same, you don't have to keep driving that home. But, we missed a lot of stuff. I didn't see Lyndon and none of that. I saw a little bit of, Tony and Anthony, and none of Mark and Anthony. So I feel like it's just, we could have done without, learning the dramatics or whatever. So at the end of the day, it was not really great storytelling. I feel like it was mediocre and filler to rise up the drama, just to kind of kick it up a little bit. And I'm hoping that they, moving forward, will focus more on, what is, where's the depth of this at, right? And hopefully we'll start learning about more people's connections and, where, meaningful conversations will be taking place moving forward. So it was a episode for me.
Stacey B.
So we're definitely in a twilight zone, because yet another time I'm agreeing with PO. Like, this was so much wasted time and space. I think that where we are, like, from a viewpoint, like a viewer's vantage point, I think we're ready to see connections, seeing how these connections occur, getting to know the cast, because right now I still don't have everybody's names together. Like, you got to throw a picture and make me remember who you're talking about. And again, like I said, from episode 2, we're not seeing many of the character people, like the Anthonys, like the Lyndons. Like, we don't know who these people are, and even like we need to see more of Cynthia. Like, we need to see more of I can't remember their names, but some of the other ladies on show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean that like as in disrespect, but I think like we need to see like these relationships developing or not, and why. Like, it needs to start making sense quickly for me.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So we went actually 12 minutes over. This was such a great panel. Great conversations. The chat was live tonight. Thank you for you guys like commenting, joining us, talking to us, communicating with us. Shout out to Cynthia and shout out to Anthony from Ready to Love Miami. Part 2, season 7. They did stop through today. Shout out to you guys. Y'all were in the chat and engaging with the soulmates and the chatters and the 244 of you watching right now. Shout out to you guys. Love you guys so much. Without you guys, there is no us. And just to let everybody know too, we are here, or I'm here on Fridays at 8 p.m. because I do my live watch party. So I literally watch the show. You guys watch the show. During commercial breaks, we talk about it. It's just me. And then on Tuesdays, I have my live panel, as you see tonight, on 8 p.m. or at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. We do this every Tuesday. So definitely come back. Visit us, visit me on Friday, visit us on Tuesdays. And of course, if you didn't catch it in the very beginning, I like to go around the room. And while we're going around, before you exit out, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you over here to join my Seoul Mate family. But like I was getting ready to say in the beginning, if you didn't catch it in the end, we do go through again where the panelists will let you know who you have been watching this whole entire time, where you can find them on social media. You guys know I am Miss Sabrina Seoul. I am your host. This is my channel, Miss Sabrina Seoul, and you can find me on all my socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Everything is at Miss Sabrina Seoul, and I was on Ready to Love DC, and we're gonna move it over to Tyrone.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure being up here with Sabrina, J-Dub, P.O., Stacy. It's always fun. You can catch me at Ty Wilson 21 everywhere. It's been really fun. If y'all don't know, I've been learning a new skill, and that is video editing. And I have been using this season to as motivation to get me to learn all of the tools. So I do have some breakdowns. So episode 5 is my most recent one. It's been a lot of fun. I do end up catching a lot of stuff and hearing a lot of stuff. So it's interesting hearing other people's perspective because I know that I'm right despite what J-Dub says. So no, I'm just joking. It's always fun. It's always a blast. So yeah.
It's J-Dub.
Okay.
All right. Again, it's me, It's J-Dub. I am YouTube's #1 comment. If you do not know, I do reviews on reality shows, and I will pop up on one of your favorite YouTubers' comments. So check me out on my channel and get my, as Ty said, my correct perspective from a male's point of view. Thank you.
P.O.
Yeah, it's P.O. I'm 100 sightings on IG. And just if the cast is still out there from Miami season, please, 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 please share your social media details so I can follow. I have a very tough time finding out, where you guys reside at on the gram, which is pretty much the platform that I'm always on. So please share those details if you can. But yeah, I'm on IG at 100 sightings. And that's pretty much where I stay parked at. This has been a great panel, and the chat has been great. Thank you for taking my perspective on this season. I really appreciate everybody just for allowing me to have the space here.
We appreciate you. Stacy B.
Hey y'all know you can find me at Stacy_B with 3 E's on Instagram. I want y'all to also, I've really been trying to get better. So I do this talk show here in Houston. It's Houston based. It comes on Smart TV, Roku TV. It's called The Session Talk Show, and we film every other Wednesday. So the show from last Wednesday should be edited and out this week, and then we'll do another one next week. So I encourage y'all to follow that, and anything y'all can help me with pointers, because I'm trying to be a little more natural and tap into things that suit my interests a little more, where y'all can see me in my own normal life and normal life. I ain't gonna be like P.O. and talk you to death. So bye.
We love it. We love it. Anyway, if you didn't catch it, if you're watching at the very end and you didn't catch it at the beginning, tonight was a great panel. Make sure you go back, watch the replay, share it with your friends, share it with your aunties and your mamas and them. Share it, share it, share it. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on social media. Make sure you follow the castmates from this season as well on social media. Go back and look at the replay with the slideshows, with their social media and Instagram that Tyrone provided for us a couple of episodes ago. Definitely check that out. And other than that, it was a great Tuesday.